But now the first of 4 plays in a series you can hear every Monday afternoon. Imagine if all the folk tales of these islands were true and their mythical creatures lived all around us, in the shadows, under bridges, and in the corner of our vision. Who would protect us? Pilgrim by Sebastian Baczkiewicz.
And this bookshop is your home too? Books downstairs, life upstairs.
How very organised of you. See, you like to keep clutter to a minimum too.
Life's as simple as you complicate it, Mervyn.
Indeed, Vic. Indeed. Oh, these books. Fascinating. Lived in Minton long?
Ooh, 20 years.
20 years. Bit of a dump, but handy for Birmingham, no?
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
In particular?
A book. First editions?
William Palmer.
Sorry?
William Palmer. You do know him, don't you?
Billy Palmer, the book dealer.
The very same.
He's more of a professional acquaintance.
A professional acquaintance? How super.
What is it you're looking for exactly?
Paths crossed much?
We see each other every now and again. Book fairs and the like.
I'd be very much obliged if you could deliver him to me.
Excuse me?
I'd be very much obliged if you could deliver him to me.
I don't think I understand.
You don't?
I think it might be best if you left.
Because I'd hate for this bookcase over here to, well, suddenly burst into fame.
What?
Come, sir.
Oh, my
Or
God!
this pile of books is suddenly, I don't know, up and fly around the room, and all this lovely furniture to splinter apart.
What the hell are you doing?
You bring me William Palmer, Vic, will know this. I know this very well. You will know no home. Not from this or until the very last moment of your life.
What?
Now, run along and don't come back without him.
Of all the tales told on these islands, few are as strange as that of William Palmer. Cursed apparently on the road to Canterbury in the spring of 1185 for denying the presence of the Otherworld by the king of the Greyfolk or fairy himself, and compelled to walk from that day to this between the worlds of magic and of men, and subsequently known in all the strange and wonderful lore attributed to the mysterious William Palmer as Pilgrim.
Majesty! I'd appreciate it if you showed yourself.
He'd have come in person. Yes, he would. But these are troubled times, Pilgrim.
Grevis.
How very gratifying it is to see you. Do none of your hot bloods care for these old churches anymore?
I've come a long way tonight.
And will go further.
Why was I sent for?
Straight to the point as ever. We miss that, we do.
Good night, Grevis.
Dragons.
What?
Disagreeable creatures at the best of times. One must be wary. We Greyfolk especially. But they make no concessions. They're not dragons. Have their own way of seeing things. Old eyes, surly temperament, grumblesome.
Why was I summoned here?
King of the Greyfolk. My lord, our master, the King of Night.
Well, he's not my master.
Is he not? Seeks to avoid an unfortunate conflagration.
What?
You see, there is an egg, and not much of an event. An egg, no, you might say as much. And you'd be right to, you might.
Grevis.
But when that egg is the first from a dragon in, well, let's say eons, then this is something not easily ignored.
A dragon's egg?
Without doubt, a cause for great celebration, and no little caution. Eh, Pilgrim?
And?
And said egg, has been, well, not to put too fine a point on it, absconded.
Absconded?
Stolen.
I see.
And an unhappy dragon is not an altogether agreeable sight, as I'm sure you would agree.
Who stole it?
Oh, there you are. The straight arrow as ever. We like that, we do. The outlaw.
What outlaw?
He has 1,000 names, as you know. Puck. Perspicacious as ever, Pilgrim. He holds it ransom, said Egg.
Ransom for what?
Oh, you know, the wearisome ambitions of our kind. And Puck, trouble to the very last. Let's say there's been a disagreement. Let's leave it at that. Yes. Did you see the carving on the front? Priceless.
Ransom for what?
That he feels the king has wronged him.
Well, he's felt that forever.
But stealing the egg of a dragon, one might say that was a step too far, even for Puck. And we, poor Greyfolk, cannot stand alone against a dragon, as well you know.
And what would your king have me do?
Fetch it back, of course.
In exchange for what?
For the honour. The inestimable honour. A dragon's egg, safely returned. Oh, there would be ballads sung.
The king knows my price.
And you know that I can make no promises. Yes, you do. You know that.
Good night, Grievous. I see we have no business here.
There will be war if the egg is not returned. I can't say it plainer.
Not my war.
The dragon, the Lady Ursula, is most aggrieved. And Puck beds down with the hot bloods.
What?
He has made a home amongst your kind. Imagine, Pilgrim, the devastation. Should great Ursula attack the hot bloods in their own dwelling place. Such a thing has not been seen for, yes, eons.
I cannot help you. No, not without a guarantee.
What guarantees can I give you? It is your own kind Puck threatens.
Your last day will come!
Pilgrim.
No!
It will. Oh, yes, it will.
Soon? Tonight? When?
Return the dragon her egg.
Leave me be, Grievous.
There is no leaving you be, Pilgrim. None at all. You're part of the family, so to speak.
You have my answer, no.
And if she attacks, think of the cost. Bloodshed.
I've nothing more to say.
But we Greyfolk cannot defeat her. Even the king knows that. We lack the wherewithal.
Well, why me?
Were not you and the outlaw comrades once?
Long time ago.
Reason with him, as best you can. That's all we ask.
No. It would serve you better to accept the truth of things. Truth of things, Grievous, is that I want to be allowed to die.
Then run, sweet Pilgrim, run. But where will we find release?
No! Your sister did what, Wayne?
Slashed his tyres, Mervyn, all four.
And then?
Done dog business through his letterbox.
Excellent.
You think?
Without doubt. Your sister was gravely wronged. And a child on the way? Shocking.
Yeah, she was.
And wrongs must be righted, one way or another.
Maybe the dog business was a step too far.
For the man or the dog.
Eh?
One must hold one's own in this world, Wayne. These are the rules of combat, of engagement.
Combat?
And ultimately victory.
If you say so.
I do say so. Yes, I do.
You're all right, Mervyn.
As are you, young Wayne. These friends of yours.
What about them?
They like it here, the estate, Minton.
Home's home.
I remember when this was all forest. Forest. As far as the eye could see. And I was its meaning.
Eh?
I think it might be that I have some work for you, you and yours.
Work?
There'll be recompense, of course.
Like what?
See?
Is that gold?
And that's just the start of it.
And you'll give us it?
Assuming you earn it.
What do you want us to do?
There's the boy.
I can't get my head round it. I can't.
What's the road, Fred?
I'm sitting in this cafe, coffee, cappuccino. Proprietor's got all these pictures of dolphins. It's his thing, dolphins. And I'm alone there, looking at the dolphins. when this man comes in and rests his hand on the table.
Concentrate.
And I say, yes, something I can do. And he says nothing. This man just rests his hand on the table for a moment and walks away. But all I'm thinking about after that is the A1068 all the time. The A1068. You see, something very strange has happened.
Just be careful, Vic.
And it's all about you.
Really?
Yeah, Billy, really. You see, I'm on a mission to find you.
What?
This man comes into the shop. Not the same man who was in the cafe. Quite a different man. Mervyn.
Mervyn?
And he looks like a collector. Serious, well-dressed. Something about him. Don't you watch where you're going, mate?
Slow down, Vic.
What was I saying?
Mervyn.
Mervyn. And Mervyn says, and you're not going to believe this, because by that time he set half the books on fire, my books, my livelihood. Mervyn says for me to find you, William Palmer. And here's the kicker, for I'd know no home from this day until my last. And you know something? He's right.
He definitely said my name.
William Palmer. And here you are, out in the middle of the A1068. What are the chances?
Your books were on fire.
Spontaneous combustion, like an old lady in an armchair. And I knew then, right there and then, that this was not my usual class of customer.
Oh, look out, Vic!
That's the last of the barbed wire in the front, Mervyn.
Excellent.
Where do you want these leaves?
Scattered about.
And the logs?
Likewise. Higgledy-piggledy.
Mervyn,
Yes, Wayne?
me and the lads were wondering,
They were.
like, why are you doing this?
Curiosity, Wayne, I commend you. We need barbed wire on the roof too,
On the roof?
along with a platform of some
A
kind.
platform?
The lads are standing guard, I take it.
Unless they get moved on. How are we going to get it on the roof?
Moved on?
Cops?
Oh, I wouldn't worry about them.
But it don't look right. Barbed wire all over the place.
Oh, trust, Wayne, trust. This room's really starting to take shape, isn't it?
And what do I tell them?
The cops.
The lads about being paid?
Tell them what you like.
They're not going to like that, Mervyn. Especially if you want them on the roof.
Really?
They want to see some gold. See you so willing.
Most reasonable of them.
Especially if there's a risk.
I'll definitely need some more leaves for in here. Definitely. More leaves.
So?
So?
So what do I tell them?
Tell them.
About seeing their money?
Is that a spider in your hair?
Where?
Just there.
Where?
And there's another one. They seem to like you, don't they?
Where are they coming from?
I'd think about changing your shampoo if I were you.
Get rid of them, man. Get rid of them. Oh, I can feel it in the air. Get them off me, man.
That seems to be the last of them. For now.
What did you do?
All good things, Wayne.
All good things, what?
Come to those that wait. Now, please, you wouldn't want to disappoint me, would you?
I'm sorry, Billy. Really sorry. I just didn't see the truck.
Let's get going.
I could have killed you.
Oh, I doubt that very much.
What was I thinking of driving like that?
We need to go, Vic.
And the van.
Forget the van.
I stole it. I stole it off the street. I've never stolen. Stealing isn't me. It's not what I do. I deal in books, prints, collectibles.
So this Mervyn tells you to find me, and then
Things were going well. I was doing okay. Veronica and me were over. I was putting back the pieces. Everything was fine. Not great, but fine in my life.
His exact words.
He said that if I did not deliver you to him, I would know no home from this day until my last.
And this was when?
Weeks ago. And no one I knew on the book circuit knew where you were. I searched, Billy, searched.
How many weeks ago?
3, 4, I don't know.
Well, then it's time you fulfilled your side of the bargain.
Hey?
Deliver me.
But I can't.
What?
I know no home, Billy. It's like the place never existed. In here. It's as weird as I can picture it. But I don't know it. You see?
I see.
What do you mean, you see? I've lost everything, and you see. Well, I don't think you do see. No, I don't.
You have to calm down, Vic.
Do you know this Mervyn?
We're acquainted.
Like we're acquainted?
No.
Then who is he?
It's a long story.
So's this road. And I'm not going to take another step along it until you start giving me some answers.
We need to make a visit.
A visit where?
Establish some facts.
Facts about what?
About what exactly has happened here.
And who's going to tell us that?
The question is, how strong can you be, Vic?
Who the bloody hell are you, Billy?
I'm the one person in this world who can help you. And now I'm leaving. Stay, go, it's up to you.
This town, it's a lonely town.
Can you turn that down, please?
Not the only town. Oh, I could is the town.
Can you turn that down, please?
Certainly.
Now, I'd like to know what's going on.
And you are?
Veronica.
Veronica
Lewis, Vic's wife, ex-wife. Look, what does it matter what I am? Who the bloody hell are you?
I'm Mervyn.
Where's Vic?
On an errand.
What kind of an errand?
A very important one.
And he's letting you stay here?
Most graciously.
There's barbed wire on the front lawn. There's God knows what on the roof. People are afraid to walk past the house. They're inconvenienced.
Is there something I can help you with?
This was my home. I lived here.
But you live here no more.
And look at the state of this room. This place is a pigsty.
Please don't touch the leaves.
What?
You do have an awful lot of questions, don't you?
And I expect some answers. What have you done to these books? Was there a fire in here? Oh, what's that?
What's what?
That. In what's left of the TV.
You mean the egg?
It's disgusting.
I wouldn't go too near it if I were you.
And it's moving. What is it?
It will be a baby dragon. The first in 1,000 years.
That's it. I want you out of here now. This second. And take your horrible egg with you.
No.
No?
No.
I'm coming back here, Mervyn. You haven't heard the last of me.
Oh, I doubt very much that there's a soul alive who'd like to hear another word from you.
What?
Oh, I see why poor Vic wanted rid of you. Look at you.
You get away from
Standing
me.
there in your cheap perfume, bristling with English indignation. It's actually quite disgusting.
I'm getting the police. Right now.
Oh, I don't think I've quite finished speaking with you, Veronica.
I beg your pardon. I told you to get away from me.
Now, as I was saying...
You see, here's where you surprise me, Billy.
Mind yourself on the style.
All the time I'm thinking I've had a crisis. A breakdown. I've dreamed this whole thing. And just when I think I have things straight, you come out with this, which is your right, but all the same.
You have to take this very seriously, Vic.
Dragons? You expect me to take dragons very seriously?
At the very least.
There are no dragons.
Is that right?
What?
Well, there's an old story of a crusader who fought a terrible dragon, the Lambton Worm, here on Worm Hill.
There is there?
Well, of course, it's become quite nonsensical in the retelling.
And it's still here, is it? This dragon?
One of the very last of its kind.
And we're going to speak to it?
I'm going to speak to it. You are going to stand very still and say nothing.
You were never like this, Billy. Not before. We used to have a drink together. Talk income tax.
Listen to me, Vic. There is another realm.
Oh, yeah? Where?
All around us. All the time.
Right now?
Right now. And what you're about to see may seem terrifying.
What the hell are you talking about?
But you must trust that no harm will come to you while you stand with me.
Seriously, Billy. I'd like to go back if it's all the same to you.
Look around. What do you see?
A great big hill.
And there, curling around the hill?
Grass.
Now look a little closer.
At what?
Look.
Is that hill moving?
On the hill.
Then what? Holy Mother!
Look only at the ground, never at her eyes.
Why?
Because one glance and she will have you forever.
Meaning what exactly?
Just take my word for it, and should she offer you anything, refuse.
Hey?
Because whatever it is will be a trap.
Who comes here today?
I've got to get out of here.
That's exactly where you are. Most esteemed daughter of fire, it is I, Pilgrim.
Hold the sword up, Wayne, up.
Like this?
No, not like that. With a point facing toward me.
How's that?
Perfect.
If I might say something, Mr.
In a moment, Mr. Landers. Now, attack.
I'm rubbish at this.
A warrior never despairs. Isn't that right, Mr. Landers?
That's quite right, sir. Yes.
Now, what can I do for you, Mr. Landers?
Well, I thought you invited me.
And so I did, Mr. Mayor. So I did.
Well then.
And it's very good of you to come. Look, Wayne. The Mayor of Minton in our back garden. I take it you suspended all your official business for today?
I have, and
the plans are in place?
I wanted to talk to you about the plans. It's most irregular.
It is?
We're not accustomed to this sort of thing in Minton.
Then it's high time for a change. I know the locals are going to love it.
This isn't right. I know this isn't right. I shouldn't be here.
Don't tax your brain so, Mr. Mayor. It's quite pointless. Saps the concentration.
But I don't know how I came to be here.
You came because I sent for you. Now, let's not beat about the bush. I want everything arranged for tomorrow.
And it will be.
And nobody must stand in the way of what we're going to accomplish here, must they?
No.
Good. Now then, Wayne. Let's have another practice, shall we?
We could get guns.
Guns?
Proper firearms, then we'd really be protected. I know people.
Oh, I don't know. What do you think, Mr. Mayor?
If that's what it takes to protect your property, I'm all for it.
The Mayor of Minton agrees with you, Wayne. Imagine that.
Of course, we'd need cash.
We're not going to have another tiresome conversation about the gold, are we?
Guns don't buy themselves, do they, Mr. Landers?
Indeed they don't, Wayne.
When the right time comes, all will get all they could possibly need. Now pick up your sword and let's try again. On guard!
I'm telling you, I'm just no good at this.
Practice makes perfect, Wayne.
Well said, Mr. Mayor. Now, as far as I can see, the problem lies with your posture.
You can't really be going to talk to it, Billy.
Remember what I said, Vic. Not one look.
Lady.
Why do you look away, Pilgrim?
Only out of respect.
Afraid of what I might show you.
Of course.
Wise Pilgrim. The years have made you cautious.
I will do all I can to return your egg to you.
You speak for the king and the rest of the Greyfolk.
I speak for Pilgrim. And I did you some service once, great Ursula.
And that is not forgotten.
Then perhaps we can trust each other a little.
You sound like that impertinence, Grevis.
He was here.
It lies over there. What's left of it.
Not the most agreeable of Greyfolk, but even so.
Don't say you mourn him.
Is this your message to the king?
No, Pilgrim. This is my message to you. Before this moon wanes, I will have that which I have so grievously lost. Or there will be such a rain of fire in Albion as has not been seen for a dozen centuries.
The moon wanes tomorrow night.
Then you had better make haste.
My companion must present me.
And?
The outlaw tricked him. He can't remember where he lives.
Then he is lost like you, is he not, Pilgrim? Is that him?
Stand up. Stand up. Just do it. How do you do?
Closer. Oh, how your poor heart cries out.
Cries out.
Remember what I said, Vic.
for all that you have lost, your home, your mate.
Veronica.
See the feeling in my eyes. I suffer for you, Victor, and I could give it you back.
Give it me back?
And this time, forever.
Don't look into her eyes, Vic.
See?
No, no, Vic!
My thanks to you, Victor Lewis. I have the outlaw now.
No, don't try to move, Vic.
I know where I live, Billy.
Just lie there still.
And I know who you are.
Please, Great Ursula, let me do what I can to help first.
I would leave him here if I were you. Time is short.
You know I cannot and will not do that.
Compassion was always your downfall.
And will be again, no doubt.
My moons wane, Pilgrim.
I must say, I do like your shoes, Matthew.
MT, you call him MT?
But his name's Matthew.
He told me this man was serious, Wayne. Something to be respected. He is.
Empty by name, empty by nature.
What you say?
And please don't disturb Wayne. He's got a costume to make.
What kind of a costume?
A very important costume. And he'll make you one too if you ask him nicely.
We got a bad connection here, Wayne.
How does a pound of gold sound?
A pound of gold.
In exchange for the weaponry.
What am I going to do with a pound of gold, man? Keep it with me magic cow?
Have you such a creature?
I don't like you, my friend.
And I don't like you. But I'd appreciate swift delivery.
You don't want to upset me, man. Please, Mervyn, show a little respect.
For this murderous hot blood?
There's no need for that, MT.
A gun! Oh, my goodness. What am I going to do?
You're going to give me some goddamn money.
I am?
This ain't no water pistol, fool.
Crikey, Wayne, you do have some uppity chums, don't you?
Money.
Llama.
What?
Light bulb.
What the hell are you doing?
Word association. Did she hurt you very badly?
What?
The back of her hairbrush across your face. Ouch.
You shut your mouth.
And there's poor you, quivering in a cupboard. Is that water at your feet?
I will use this.
But against who? It's not me you want to hurt, is it?
What's she saying to me, Wayne? I don't know.
Is that her now?
What?
Oh, I must say she doesn't look happy, not happy at all.
Where?
She's right behind you.
You get her away from me.
And she's holding her hairbrush.
I didn't touch your purse, Mum. I swear, Mum, I didn't touch it. Please, Mum.
Do as I ask, and she'll go away.
Anything. Just get rid of her.
There's the boy, Matthew. There's the boy.
Well, Jim, I've got to say I've never seen anything quite like it. People have been arriving all day for what appears to be some kind of impromptu street party. Everyone's singing and dancing. It's just amazing. And look at all these outlandish costumes they're all wearing. Even the police seem to be joining in the fun.
Mervyn. Can't you go any faster?
The Minton Road's completely blocked.
I can't get it out of my head, Billy. The things that dragon showed me. Terrible things.
I told you not to look into her eyes.
But then I'd never have learned about you, Billy. About Puck. The years you spent together. The forest.
Well, let's just concentrate on getting to Mervyn.
But you were comrades, right?
Oh, for a while.
And then?
We fell out.
Over what?
He's a creature of the wild.
What does that mean?
It means he's all mischief and mayhem. Oh, we're never going to get through this traffic.
promised to break your curse, didn't he?
I believed it a possibility.
And what?
And nothing.
How do you bear it? Living forever.
You've got to try and forget some of the things Ursula showed you.
Forget? How could I possibly forget? It's like she branded something into me, Billy. Something I'll never shake off. The things I've seen, the knowledge. I can't live with that in my head. I can't.
We both need to keep very calm.
And I don't know how to deal with it. I don't. So how? How do you bear it?
I don't.
But what's it like? Please, Billy.
You loved Veronica, didn't you, Vic?
Of course.
And when it finished?
Bad time, Billy. Very bad time.
Imagine that bad time stretching on forever.
What?
Kind of perpetual heartbreak.
But how do you live with that?
By never talking about it.
Come on. What are you doing?
We'll go the rest of the way by foot.
Mervin's got the power, man. The power. That's what's so great about him, now. And you brought me to him, Wayne. And I thank you for that, man. I thank you. Here. I don't want to carry a machine gun, MT. Important thing is to hold it right. Support the weight evenly. I said I don't want it. What's the matter with you, man? This isn't right. None of this is right. Mervin says we've got to have machine guns. Then we've got to have machine guns. What the hell are all these birds doing? Don't move, MT. What are you doing, man? Talking to the animals? He's here. Who's here? The king? Elvis. You best get going, MT. I ain't going nowhere, man. Filthy birds. Shoot them. One blast of this will take them all out. Wayne? Bird's got a message. You what? Bird's got a message. What kind of a message? A message from Irving. Eh? I'd get off the roof now if I were you. You lost your mind, man. I ain't going nowhere without Mervyn say so. Do what you must, Majesty. What you chatting about now, Majesty? What a stupid hot blood you truly are. What did you call me? Take him. Get him off me. Get him off the way. Now run away, MC. And don't come back. Get him off the way.
It's like he's driven the old town mad, Billy.
Let's just concentrate on getting you back home. Is this the street?
It's right here, straight in front. Oh, my. Look what they've done to my house.
Vic!
Veronica?
You're here at last. Not going to join the parade?
Why are you dressed like a shepherdess?
Oh, part of the fun, Vic. Where's your sense of humour?
My sense of humour?
And is this Mr. Palmer?
Enchanted. Where's Mervyn?
Very anxious to see you.
What the bloody hell is going on here?
Going on?
Barbed wire, blacked out windows, estate kids everywhere. And what's that platform doing on the roof?
You have to trust in Mervyn, Vic. Mervyn sets everything straight. But trust was always your biggest problem.
I don't think you've got the first idea what my problem was.
There's no point in losing your temper.
I'm not losing my temper.
Sounds that way to me.
The moon's waning. Can we please just go and see him?
That's very much up to my ex-husband here.
What?
She means that you have to deliver me.
And how do I do that?
You just do it.
Mervyn! Mervyn!
No need to shut the place down, Vic. Have you done as you were told?
What have you done here, Puck?
And very nice it is to see you too, Pilgrim.
Moon's wane, Pilgrim.
Cherry? They're absolutely delicious.
The moon is waning, Puck.
Is it?
Which means the dragon is on her way.
Oh, goody, goody. You've seen the birds, of course.
The king has sent his army.
But they're holding back in the shadows, typically. Cowards to the end.
Give the dragon back her egg.
And where would be the fun in that?
Give the dragon back her egg and there may be something we can do.
Oh, something we can do. Are we off to market, Pilgrim? What? Off to the high summer fair with an egg to trade and all the world to gain?
If you like.
No.
People could die here tonight. Greyfolk too.
Then the king will learn his lesson.
What? His lesson?
Tonight, Pilgrim, we pull the whole world down. And how you once yearned for that, defying the king, making a stand.
And for what?
For the fun of it, of course.
But that's madness.
How quickly you've forgotten.
Forgotten what?
That madness is what I am.
Please, Veronica, listen to me.
I've done all the listening, Vic. 15 years of it. Why's everyone gone quiet?
She's almost here. I'm serious, Veronica. You've got to get off this roof.
And where's Wayne? And the rest of the boys?
Listen to me, please, listen to me. There's a creature coming here tonight.
You don't mean the dragon, do you?
You know.
Mervyn says there's nothing to worry about.
Mervyn's a liar.
And if Mervyn wants me to stand on the roof to welcome her, then that's what I'm going to do. And there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Tick, tock, tick, tock.
Stop it, Pop.
When will she get here?
You haven't tried to kill it then?
Kill the egg of a dragon? There are limits, Pilgrim.
Oh, you surprise me, Pop. Well, surely madness, a real unbridled madness, would be to kill it.
What?
You see, you're right.
I am?
You're absolutely right about everything. But as ever, you only go so far. Still, it was always thus.
You will watch your tongue, Pilgrim.
Street party, the house, the kids. This isn't madness. This is mischief. Child's play, but killing the egg. Now, that would be really something, wouldn't it? And then we'd really pull the whole world down. Because Ursula would never stop. Not until there was nothing left.
You're trying to befuddle me.
It's a good sword, this. A person could do a lot with a sword like this.
You get away from that egg.
And the king will never let me free, so what do I have to lose?
You wouldn't dare harm it.
Wouldn't I? It looks so helpless, doesn't it? Hard to imagine what it will soon become.
Put that sword down.
No. Puck, let's really make a stand. Now, you and I, make a stand, as once we dreamed of.
No, Pilgrim!
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Wayne, you will shut your mouth or the king will have your tongue, Puck. Now, please, Pilgrim, the sword.
You tell your king to release me from my curse, or I will do this.
The people of Minton burned to a crisp.
Why does he punish me so?
Because he loves you, Pilgrim.
Loves me?
The choice is yours, but Minton's blood will be on your hands.
God!
Knew you'd see sense. Unlike your companion here.
The king won't see me harm.
Will he not? It's just you and the dragon now, Puck. And the dragon will have your blood, sure as summer rain.
Sounds like mother.
What do we do, Vic? Look at the ground. Never had to rise.
What?
Just do as I say. Great Ursula!
Where is my egg, Victor Lewis?
Billy! Pilgrim will find it. He won't let you down.
As he has let you down,
He hasn't let us down.
leaving you and your mate on the roof alone, unprotected.
Unprotected? What's he talking about?
I beg you, Ursula, show some compassion for this woman.
I want my child.
You'll have it!
Pilgrim.
In person, and returning that which was taken.
And the outlaw?
Is here.
Where?
Behind me. What?
Puck! On behalf of the king and all his subjects, we seek only to make peace here tonight, great Ursula.
Give me the outlaw and you will have your
Give her the outlaw, Wayne.
I can't.
You can't.
The outlaw's gone.
God, what do you mean? He's gone.
I will have blood for my dishonor. The outlaws or this town's.
and then I will be the sacrifice.
How very noble of you, Pilgrim. But I want someone that can die.
These people have done you no harm.
Take me, great Ursula.
You.
After all, it was me first welcomed the outlaw into my house.
This is insane, Vic. You're not responsible, not in any way.
You have opened my eyes, Dragon, and I can't live with what you've shown me. I am yours, lady, and well you know it.
What are you talking about, Vic?
I'm sorry, Vic. I'm sorry for everything.
There must be some other terms we can discuss.
Victor Lewis will be sufficient.
Sufficient? For God's sake, Vic!
Salvage what you can of my books, Billy.
I won't let you do this.
Let's not keep the lady waiting. I'm ready.
It's very nice that you could come to the memorial, Mr. Palmer.
Not at all, Veronica.
I know Vic would have appreciated it.
Thank you. That means a lot.
I can't imagine what he was doing on the roof of the house in the first place.
No.
I've gone over and over it, trying to make some sense of what happened. I mean, I know I was near the house. I know I was.
You don't remember?
I've seen the photos of the parade. But, well, it's like the whole town just went mad, isn't it? And I know I must have been there, but...
Well, perhaps it's for the best, not remembering.
I'd best be getting back.
Good meeting you, Veronica.
Thanks.
Puck?
For a moment there, I really thought you were going to do it. I did. Kill that wretched egg.
I have nothing to say to you.
Believe you me, I don't like being here any more than you do, but the king insisted, so here I am.
Well, the king should have insisted that you die.
And then where would the balance be?
The balance?
All those years, all that wandering, and you've really learned nothing of our ways, have you? The king could no more kill me than I could kill him.
What?
It's all about the balance. Order and chaos. Can't have one without the other. It's the dance we do, Pilgrim.
The dance you do. A good man died.
And a town survives. Balance. However, the king can insist I deliver you a message, no matter how reluctantly.
What message?
Say it like that and I might not tell you.
What message?
The old man of Arimathea.
Joseph of Arimathea is dead.
Is he? I heard quite differently. And who knows? According to the king, he's the one person who might be able to lift your curse.
Well, where is he then?
Now that would be telling. But you might try the Lord of Thorns. Until we meet again, Pilgrim. This
Puck. Come back here, Puck. Puck.
In part 1 of Pilgrim by Sebastian Baczkiewicz, Pilgrim was played by Paul Hilton, Puck known as Mervyn by Jamie Foreman, Vic, Paul Ryder, and the Lady Ursula by Nomad Dumaswany. Wayne was Lloyd Thomas, Veronica Janice Aqua, Grevis Chris Pavlo, MT Inam Mirza, and Landers was Stephen Critchlow. The girl was Agnes Bateman. Pilgrim was directed by Mark Beebe.
Well, now on BBC Radio 4, another in our weekly series of Pilgrim. Imagine if all the folk tales of these islands were true and their mythical creatures lived all around us, in the shadows, under bridges, and in the corner of our vision. Who would protect us? Pilgrim by Sebastian Baczkiewicz.
I'm telling you, Joey, it was just me. You and my fiancée had just met. I can't help it if Tina talks to me, can I? You look at each other. I've seen you looking at each other in the feathers. And? You know what I'm talking about, Darren?
I don't. I honestly don't. What are we doing up here, anyway?
We're on a reconnoitre.
A reconnoitre? What do you mean we're on a reconnoitre? Never seen a wood up here before. You sure this is a pass up to Willie Howe?
Can't you just shut up for 5 seconds?
Who are you asking? Yeah, maybe we should go back.
You can go if you want.
What's that?
Where?
Looks like an opening in the path. It's not right.
He's here.
Who's here? Is that a door in the hill? Looks like a door opening. How can that be? Joey!
Come on. Open sesame!
Don't get too near it!
Open sesame!
Joey!
He's here, Darren.
Who's here? Is this a reconnoitre?
Mr. Mulvey!
What? Come back, Joey! Oh my God, what's that? Joey? Joey?
Of all the tales told on these islands, few are as strange as that of William Palmer. Cursed apparently on the road to Canterbury in the spring of 1185 for denying the presence of the Otherworld by the king of the Greyfolk or fairy himself, and compelled to walk from that day to this between the worlds of magic and of men, and subsequently known in all the strange and wonderful lore attributed to the mysterious William Palmer as Pilgrim.
A bear?
Paws the size of Christmas hams.
Here in Durnley?
Just off the square.
Did it dance?
Well, not for money. No, Davy kept the poor thing behind his bread shop. Saved it in 62. What shall I do with the pegs?
In the pot, please. You really don't have to help me with the washing, Mr. Palmer.
William. Or Billy, if you prefer. Always had a good heart, Davy. Lovely singing voice.
Well, I've got you there, William. Because I were 12 in 62, and if there was a bear in Durnley, I'd have heard about it.
How about 1662?
Knew you were having me on. So, what brings you to Durnley?
There's an old fella I've come to see.
Anyone I might know?
I very much doubt it. It's a nice garden, this.
There's a cosy little house. Good for council. And I just want to thank you again for what you did in the spa.
Oh, forget it.
Bloody kids.
You get a lot of that?
What?
Name calling.
Water off a duck's back.
Why'd they call you?
Why do they call me a witch?
It's an odd word to use.
I'll tell you this for nothing. I've met some witches in my time, and they're among the nicest women I have ever met.
They are?
And they're not all weird and wild-looking, not by a long shot. There's a woman in Dorset, wears a twin set and pearls. Doris, her name is. Doris,
Lister.
You know her?
Lives just outside of Tallpuddle. Why did those boys taunt you?
Mind yourself on the door there. And thanks. Thanks for bringing us home.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
You seem sad, William.
Do I?
What's the matter?
Well, I lost a friend recently.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I'm sorry. I genuinely didn't mean to pry. Where shall I put these sheets?
Leave them on the side. You got kids, William?
No. You?
A boy. Joey. How is it you know Doris Lister?
She'd got herself mixed up in a bit of a nasty business.
With who?
More of a what?
Do you think things happen for a reason?
Well, it depends.
On what?
On the reason.
7 years ago, to the month, my Joey disappeared.
I'm very sorry to hear.
Everyone assumes he buggered off to Leeds. Apart from those kids who think I've got him locked away somewhere. Do you want a coffee? It's only instant. I used to do real. I used to love real. And then Sam went and smashed the cafetiere.
Sam?
Bloke I lived with after Joey's dad passed away. Him and Joey were always fighting. Fist fights. Right here in this kitchen.
And then one day Sam got so mad he threw the cafetiere across the kitchen. Left that very night. That's why I keep Instant. Instant's okay for me. Yes, Instant. I've never been involved in anything like this. It's not who I am. Not how I was brought up.
You've lost me, Noreen.
Joey's upstairs.
He came home?
Never left. You can see him if you like.
See him?
You see, a man who's helped Doris Lister must be worth a shot at helping me. You can help me, can't you?
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
These last 7 years, I've met witches, warlocks, mediums, psychics, you name it. And none of them could do anything. Not one. Not even Doris. And I'm at my wit's end here.
God, I don't know what you think I could do. I'm a book dealer. I really ought to be heading back to Bridlington.
Right, well, I thank you for the lift. But I've got things I ought to be getting on with. So have you. So, Mr. Palmer.
Lead the way.
What?
Let's go and see Joey. Huh? He's up these stairs, is he?
Nobody knows he's here. And nobody must know you've seen him, please.
You have my word.
Perhaps we should go downstairs. Forget the whole thing.
Are those hawthorns growing around the door?
There he is. There's my boy.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Joey Thurlow?
No, you were mates, weren't you, Darren?
And?
Nothing.
What did you say your name was?
Palmer. William Palmer.
And you're a friend of Noreen's?
Yes.
Oh, well, I've never heard of you.
What did you ask?
Hey.
You busy?
You are?
Here in the garage. Do you get much trade?
Enough. Is Joey in trouble?
What?
What's something happened to him?
Joey's disappeared.
Joey's been gone a long time. And good riddance. Now, if there's no else, I've work to do.
Of course. Forgive me. Thank you, Darren. Why good riddance?
What?
Why did you say and good riddance?
Look, Mr. Farmer, I don't know who you are, but you ask anyone around here about Joey Thurlow and they'll tell you the same thing. It were bad news.
Bad news?
Trouble.
Well, then you weren't mates.
I think I've said all I want to say on the matter. Thank you.
Sorry to take up your time.
Cans and worms, Mr. Palmer.
Cans and worms?
Best left on shelf.
I'll bear that in mind, Darren. He never said if he's got mixed up with anyone strange, did he?
Strange how?
I don't know. I was hoping you might tell me. Never mentioned a name.
Are we done here?
Good talking to you, Darren.
Who is this Mr. Palmer, anyway?
I told you, I met him in the spa. Those two Farson boys are in there as well.
They weren't calling you names, were they?
William put a stop to that.
I've a good mind to go around and talk to their parents, I really have. William, eh?
You should have seen the way he spoke to them. Little buggers backed out of there pretty sharpish. And he's much too young for me, if that's what you're thinking.
I'm not thinking anything. I'm just intrigued.
He said he might be able to help. It's Joey.
He's not another of your crazies, is he?
Tina!
Morning, Noreen.
Morning, Mr. Spursby.
Chill in the air. Definitely a chill in the air.
Certainly is. I don't want to talk about this on the street.
Don't you think things are best left?
Best left?
With Joey in that?
No, Tina, I don't. I really don't. Whatever it is that's happened to him has to end. It has to. And I don't know why I think it, but William's the best chance Joey's ever had. And I'm not going to waste it. Now, if that's too hard for you to understand, Tina, then I'd be happier we never talked about him again. Ever.
How's Joey there?
It's a trip.
I'll come round later. After work today, maybe.
Won't Darren kick up a fuss?
Darren will be feet up in front of the telly.
He must never know about Joey, Tina.
And he won't. As far as Darren's concerned, the less said about Joey, the better.
He's never even wondered where he is.
As far as Darren's concerned, there is no Joey. There's nothing to worry about.
See you later, then.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm glad, Noreen.
Glad?
Glad you got someone looking out for him.
Of course I knew Joey. Everyone used to call him Portable. Pint?
Orange juice.
As you like. £2, please.
Portable.
On account of his accident. None of the locals meant any harm by it. It was just a bit of fun.
What accident?
Did Noreen not tell you?
No.
You a relative?
A friend.
He's not got himself into trouble in Leeds, has he?
Don't think so.
Because if there were ever a person to sniff out a ruck, then that person was Joey Thurlow. He's in Leeds, isn't he?
Tell me some more about this accident, lad.
Like I said, he was out in Iraq. First time round. Like to make out he was a bit of a hero.
Was he?
Of course he wasn't. Got flown home, injured.
Injured? How?
She didn't tell you, did she?
No.
He was setting up these portable toilets. And the bloke driving the forklift knocks one over. Breaks Joey's leg. Flew him straight back.
Right.
It didn't set right or something. I don't know. Anyway, that was the end of his army career.
So what did he do?
Do?
When he got back here?
Worked up at the cemetery with Abel Jaggs.
Abel Jaggs.
The grave digger. No love lost between those two.
Sorry?
Used to drive old Jaggs mad. But that was the fun of it. The odd couple, I used to call them.
And Darren?
Darren?
Darren Henthorne. They were mates, weren't they?
You've been doing your homework, Mr. Palmer. Used to follow Joey around like a puppy.
A puppy?
Worshipped the ground he walked on. Till he went off with Joey's girlfriend. You sure Joey's not in trouble?
Oh, positive. I'm just trying to help Noreen track him down.
He's not in Leeds, then?
Thanks for this.
Another orange juice?
Oh. No, I'd best be on my way. Thank you, Les.
As you like.
All right, Noreen.
Oh, hi, Darren. You couldn't help me with these bags, could you?
Hi, Darren.
Some of the matter, love?
Who's your friend?
My friend?
William Palmer.
Did he speak to you?
Yeah. He spoke to me.
And
I don't like you.
He's just trying to help.
Why can't you leave this be, Noreen?
Excuse me?
Joey's gone. He's buggered off, and that's the end of it. And if that bloke Palmer ever comes round me again, you can tell him to watch out.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Piss off, Darren. You don't fool anybody.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know full well. Now, I'd like to get home.
No, I don't. No.
It means, Darren, that you were the last person to see Joey before he went. Before he disappeared.
So?
So why don't you tell me what went on that night?
Nothing went on.
No one believes you, Darren. Never have.
Thanks for agreeing to see me, Tina.
Sorry I had to be here.
It's as good a place as any. And I like to watch the trains go by.
It's just, I don't want Darren to know we met.
No?
He gets jealous.
Well, like Joey got jealous.
Noreen told you, did she?
It sounds as if Joey was quite a handful.
You could say that. Yeah, you could.
It'll be autumn soon. Must be nice here in autumn.
You know I know, don't you? About Joey. The state he's in.
When did you find out?
Noreen told me. About a year after it happened.
Does it distress you?
To see him lying there, like a vegetable. What do you think?
Well, I think Darren knows more than he's letting on about what happened.
You won't get any sense out of Darren.
Don't you think you should tell him?
And what? Watch him explode?
Well, they were best mates, weren't they?
Aye, for a while they were.
And you and Joey went out together, didn't you?
We were engaged, as you clearly know.
So what happened?
Look, it was all a long time ago, and I really think it's best left where it is.
But what about Joey?
I don't know what happened to Joey. I can't even think about it.
Was he mixed up with anyone odd?
Odd?
Anyone involved with, say, magic?
Magic?
Yes, Tina, magic.
Sorry, Mr. Palmer, I've got to go.
I'm trying to help, but I can't do that unless I know what happened to Joey the night he changed.
Look, Mr. Palmer, I love my husband, and I'm sorry for what happened with Joey, but I can't regret it. I won't regret it.
You left Joey for Darren.
I'm sorry. Really. Bye.
Bye, Tina, and thanks.
I don't think we should speak again.
Well, if you change your mind, I'll be up at the graveyard.
The graveyard?
With Abel Jaggs.
Of course I knew Joey Thurlow. Worked with him for 5 years, didn't I? Each year lazier than the last. Hey, you please, Mr. Palmer.
Just a friend. So, no love lost then?
Huh?
Between you and Joey?
Oh, bloody idle. In a soldier, Iraq this, Iraq that. Even tried to make out he was SAS. SAS me backside like he was some sort of hero. And heroes don't act like that, do they? Watch yourself, then.
Like what?
Like hooligans.
Must be eerie sometimes, working up here. Ancient churchyard like this.
Sound like Joey.
He was interested in all that, was he?
Obsessed. But he weren't banging on about his derring do's. He was banging on about ley lines, crop circles, UFOs, you name it. Poor Nori. Even got to the point where...
Yes?
You sure you're a friend?
On my honor.
He claimed he was being haunted. Bloody madness, if you ask me.
Haunted?
By someone called Mulvey.
Mulvey?
Don't know him, do you?
So what did you talk about then?
Finish your tea, Darren.
Well?
This and that. Joey mainly.
And what did you tell him?
Is it you and him were mates?
What is it with that woman dredging it up all over and over?
She's desperate.
About what?
About finding a boy.
Well, doesn't she know where he is then?
What's that supposed to mean?
You and Noreen hiding something. And you have been for years.
Just let it go, Darren.
Oh, with some bloke walking around Durnley asking questions about me.
I just don't see why every time Joey comes up in conversation you have to go off on one. Now finish your tea.
Because I don't like it. Which part of I don't like it don't you understand?
Just don't talk like the telly, Darren. It don't suit you.
Just tell me what you talked about, Tina, and cut the crap! Where are you going?
Out.
Well, off to see Noreen.
It's none of your business.
Or have you another tete-a-tete with Mr. Palmer planned?
See you later, Darren.
Tina! Ah!
Did Joey ever walk out to Willie Howe?
Willie Howe, Doubleby Howe, all the earthworks around here. Him and Darren Enthorne.
Darren went with him?
Pair of them were always looning about. Taking drugs, oh yes. And then Joey got deluded.
Deluded?
By all this Mulvey business. Well, you live around here long enough, you hear all the stories. Ghostly coaches, black dogs, blokes being seduced under the hill. Means nothing to me, of course, as far as I'm concerned. Once you're in the hole, you're out of the race. But if places have an atmosphere like up here, the weak-minded get susceptible.
A person like Joey.
And he wouldn't take any suggestion of help. Because it weren't just our Mr. Mulvey that was bothering him. Look, I've got to get this grave dug before I lose the light.
Do you mind if I take a look around?
Suit yourself. In Iraq.
In Iraq?
Something happened to him.
He told you?
Not exactly.
Then what exactly?
I'm number one in here, Liz.
How'd you like?
It's quiet tonight.
Aye. That man catch up with you yet? Palmer?
He's been in here.
Told him what a right pair you and Portable were. Way back when, of course. My car ready yet?
Friday at latest.
Odd-looking bloke, isn't he? Something raggedy about him.
See you later, Liz.
But what about this pint?
Later.
As you like.
Smashed it.
Right against the wall. Spaghetti everywhere.
We should have told Darren, Tina. Years ago.
I don't know what's right anymore, Noreen. Got a newspaper?
Look at him. Just lying there. Oblivious to it all. You were good for him. You were.
Maybe you should hold his head up.
I know he got some strange notions in his head, I do. But he was such a gorgeous kid. When he was little. Kind. I should have done more after he come back. I should have.
To the left a bit.
I mean, for Joey to be lying here for 7 years, no food, no water, looking exactly the same as he did, that's not natural, Tina. That's supernatural. And I know Darren knows.
Darren knows what?
How did you get in here, Darren?
Someone left the back door. Oh, my God.
Stay on the landing, Darren.
What are you doing, Tina?
Cutting his hair, what's it look like?
What's the matter with him?
Thought you might be able to help us with that.
Where did all these thorns come from?
Search me.
How long's he been like this?
7 years.
7 years.
Ever since the night we don't talk about, Darren.
So why don't you tell us?
I'll tell you what.
About whatever weird crap you and Joey had got yourself involved with.
You said he was in Leeds, Noreen.
And it was Mr. Mulderhay?
What did you say?
Oh, I've heard you, Darren. In your sleep.
You lied to me. You both lied to me. What are these thorns doing?
Who's the liar, Darren?
Oh, get away from me, Tina. Take my hand, Tina.
I can't. Be careful, Darren. Why didn't you tell us?
His face is bleeding.
Well, Darren.
He said it was a reconnoiter. That's what he said, a reconnoiter.
Right.
Where are you going?
To find Mr. Palmer.
What am I supposed to do?
Go after Darren.
I can't leave Joey. Not like this.
Just do it, please.
What are you doing over there, Mr. Palmer?
This path here.
What about it?
It leads to Willie Howe, doesn't it?
That's the old Corpse Road, aye.
And what happened here?
Oh, it used to be a big thicket of hawthorns, right where you are.
Hawthorns?
Oh, beautiful they were, all knotted up. Yeah, been there forever.
And what happened?
Joey Thurlow happened. Well, this was years ago, when he first started. There was a shoot down in the dale there. As soon as the first shots went off, Joey went mad, yelling, shouting, running about. Then he catches his hands on the hawthorns. What does he do? Takes the digger to it, like a bloody madman. But that's how I knew he'd had a bad experience in the desert. The way he went off on one. Like he took what happened with the hawthorns personal. I get to rip them all out by their roots.
You wouldn't have liked that, would you?
Who wouldn't?
But you never found out what happened to him in Iraq?
Just that I know he suffered. Right, well, I'm off home. And I'd urge you to do the same.
Good night, Mr. Jaggs, and thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mulderhay. It's been a long while.
Mr. Palmer!
Tina?
Gotta help us.
What's happened?
Darren's seen Joey.
When?
This evening.
Willie Howe's this way, isn't he?
Well, yeah.
Good.
Oh, hold up there, Mr. Palmer.
Oh, Tina, we haven't got all night.
I've lived here, but I've never once been up to Willie Howe.
Well, not even with Joey.
Especially not with Joey. Certainly not the moonlight.
Tell me more about the Thorns.
Well, it's like they were alive, thrashing about all over the place.
And Joey?
He just lay there, oblivious.
Oh, good.
Good.
We're expected.
What's there?
Where's Tina gone, Noreen?
I've been looking all over for you, Darren.
Where is she?
She went to find William. Come inside the house a minute.
All these years he's been up here. You never told me. Never said.
What happened to Joey, Darren? The truth, son, please.
Evening, Norrie.
Abel.
Have you seen Tina, Mr. Duggs?
As a matter of fact, I have. She was up at churchyard with that bloke Palmer. Looks to me as if they're both up on the high. Up to Willie Howe.
Willie Howe?
Mind if you ask me?
See you later, Norrie.
Something I said.
Is that a wood, Mr. Palmer?
Looks like it.
Oh, I've never heard anything about a wood being here.
We're very close.
Who are you, Mr. Palmer?
Willie, please, I'm a book dealer.
So what was that about magic, then?
He'll call me Pilgrim.
Who will?
Mr. Mulverhay.
Mr. Mulverhay?
A very old and very dangerous spirit, and he's been hereabouts a very long time.
You one of Noreen's weirdos?
No.
So what's the tattoo, then?
It's a palm leaf. It's a sign of one who walks to Jerusalem.
Jerusalem?
I had it done in 1198.
What?
Look, I know it's difficult, but you have to trust me.
Trust you?
There is another realm, and together we stand on its threshold.
Tina!
I must say I do admire you, Darren.
What?
Keeping the subterfuge up for all these years. Tell me, which one of you gallants saw him first?
Come on, Tina. And you, get your big nose out of my business.
She's a pretty little thing, huh? Quite the prize.
I am still here.
Look, I don't know who you are, or what you're doing here, but this is not the place to have this conversation. Oh, my God, look at those thorns.
You dream about him much. If I'm not mistaken, once seen, never forgotten. Not old Mulverhay.
Stop saying his name.
Why ever not? I've business with him myself.
What sort of business?
Never you mind.
Darren!
I'd take your hands off me if I were you.
Not until it... You're pricking my arm! Tina!
Don't hurt him.
Out with it!
It was a laugh. That's all. It's just a laugh.
Well, I doubt Joey's laughing.
I thought he was making it up. All that Mulverhay stuff.
Had he spoken about him before?
He was always talking about him. Said Mr. Mulverhay had made him promises. I told him he shouldn't eat the food. I told him.
The food?
The food we saw the night... Ah, you're breaking my arm.
The night you...
The night we went under the hill.
The night you what?
Thought I must have been tripping. Had some bad weed or something. But Joey was ecstatic. Running around like a nutter. Yelling open sesame and stuff like that. And that's when the wood appeared. Forest of thorns. Just like it is now.
Go on, Darren.
Joey went under.
Under the hill?
What was I supposed to do? He was my mate, wasn't he?
And you followed him?
And it was mad. Like a huge town of thorns. And all this food were laid out. Tons of it, just like in story.
What story?
The legend of Willie Howe. He must have told you.
No.
Joey was mad for that story. He kept going on about it. He wouldn't stop. Only now we were the travellers going under the hill. But I knew not to touch the food. I knew it from story. I said to Joey, but Joey was stuffing his face. Look, I really want to get out of here, Palmer.
Finish the story, Darren.
I'm sorry, Tina.
Just finish it.
And the next thing we know, this music kicks off. And Joey were right in there, doing this crazy dancing that used to get him thrown out of clubs. I yelled out for him to stop. I did.
Couldn't you dragged him out of there?
Well, you know what he was like when he went off for one. He meant me joining too. And then
And then?
Mother was there. Oldest man I ever saw, face like bark. And he says we both deserved a great reward for dancing so gracefully. Only it wasn't graceful. It were wild, like we were two mad dogs. And Joey says, what reward's this then? Like he knew him, like he expected something.
Was it a wish apiece?
How do you know that?
What did Joey wish for, Darren?
I don't want him back. Messing everything up. And neither do you, Tina. You know you don't.
What did he wish for?
He wished he were brave again. Like he used to be. Big, brave Joey. King of the wild frontier.
Oh, and you?
It's happening again. Isn't it?
Is that a door? How can a door be opening in the hill?
You've got to get away from here, Tina.
I'm not going anywhere.
I can't do this. I can't.
It will never end. For any of you. In or out, Darren. You decide.
Did you say something, Joey? Joey? You gave me quite a scare. Yes, you did. And Mr. Palmer's going to help you. Yes, he is. He's going to help all of us. So don't you worry, sweetheart. No, you mustn't be scared of Mr. Palmer. You mustn't. He's the man that came to see you the other day. Oh, my God. Joey. It's me, love. Mum. What are you trying to say? Joey.
And once upon a bloodlit moon, and twice upon a bloodlit moon, and thrice again, but not too soon for dancing neath the bloodlit moon.
What are you doing, Palmer?
Making light. Ah, it's much better.
There's that smell. That dead earth smell.
I don't like this.
I told you not to come.
These old eyes deceive me, Pilgrim.
Joey.
To live and breathe. Mr. Mulverhead.
That's not Mr. Mulverhead.
That's Joey.
How long has it been?
400 hot blood years.
400 what? What's he talking about, Tina?
How should I know? Oh, it's really beautiful in here, isn't it? Really beautiful.
Don't look at it. Don't be tempted by it.
What?
Embrace me, Pilgrim.
Pilgrim?
He calls him that.
And is that Mr. Darren?
All right, Joey.
And the fair Tina?
Charmed, I'm sure.
I would speak with you, my lord.
Then walk with me.
I'll be as quick as I can. You're not leaving us here.
Pilgrim.
On my way, my lord.
Look at all this lovely food here.
Pilgrim!
I could eat it all.
You've got to stay away from all that.
And that music. I've never heard such music.
You've got to fight it, Tina.
It looks delicious, doesn't it?
I must say, I take it hard to see your kingdom so changed, my lord.
It is all desolation. Even the thorns have lost their luster. But having this young hotfoot with me is a small compensation.
Is Joey alive in there?
Alive. Oh, a strong young body to run around in. Lifts the spirits.
Where are your kinsfolk?
Gone to the summer barrows.
You didn't go with them?
What is our business?
I seek the old man of Arimathea.
Still hoping someone will help you die, eh?
I seek his counsel.
You seek to revoke your gift as bestowed upon you by the king. Old Joseph's gone.
Gone where?
How should I know?
You are the Lord of Thorns, and I did not ask for this gift.
Ever the ingrate, Pilgrim?
If you will not help me, then I beg you, release this man.
Still breaking your heart over meaningless clods.
Joey Thurlow did not know the meaning of what he did.
He tore up my most beloved bush.
Could
not have known the significance of the churchyard thorns.
Well, I can assure you he knows it now.
I could instruct him, help him make amends.
How wearisome you are, blessed with the knowledge of 1,000 years, still bleating on.
I have not complained.
Perhaps not today, but in the past. Oh, please release me. Oh, please let me free. Let me meet my God. When I think of all those that have begged on their hands and knees for the gift of eternal life we chose to bestow on you.
It is not what I asked for.
But it is what you have. Popes and emperors, Pilgrim. Popes and emperors. The old man of Arimathea can no more help you than the wind can help you drown.
I could guide you to the summer barrows. I could help you.
Think I don't know my way to them.
I think that you are angry, my lord.
As you would be if you had failed your kinsfolk. As you would be if you had allowed the hobblers to dishonor you.
It was one hawthorn bush.
My most precious hawthorn bush. Once upon a time they all knew, all the hot bloods, what they could take and what they must leave alone.
So you dishonor yourself with self-pity.
Pilgrim.
Why, you will not even do me the honor of meeting me face to face. Just use this stupid hot blood as your puppet. But hear this. I shall spread the word to all the Greyfolk, both above and below, that the Lord of Thorns was too ashamed to show his true face to Pilgrim.
Joey, the hell are you?
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim? You want to save this loathsome hot blood?
At last we meet, my lord.
Well, if you want him, then you must win him. Win me? For the last time, Tina, don't touch the food.
How are you going to stop me, Darren?
Just put the apple down. Please, love.
I'd do as he says if I were you, Tina.
Where have you been, Palmer? And why shouldn't she eat Mr. Darren? Mr. Mulvey? He's looking in the pink, isn't he, Joey? He's looking like the two-faced jackanapes he always was. One bite of the apple and Miss Tina will be here forever. Think of it, dear Joey. Mr. and Mrs. Mr. and Mrs. You've got to stop him, Palmer. Mr. and Mrs. You can liberate yourself tonight. Betrayed us. Pair of them.
What are you talking about, betrayed? Oh, he does look funny, doesn't he?
You ever told her what you wished for that night, Darren? You shut your mouth, Joey.
Come on, Darren. What did you wish for?
Come on, Darren. Tell her. What do I say, Palmer?
The truth would be good.
Can't do it, can you? I loved her, you know. Loved her with all my heart. So come on, Darren. Out with it. You're all I ever wished for, Tina. You're all I ever wanted.
You wish for me? That's sweet. But you had me anyway, silly Darren.
Come along, Miss Tina. One little bite. Please, Tina, put the apple down.
Nag, nag, nag.
That's right, Tina, love. You take a bite. And we'll be safe. You and I. Safe from harm, like we always said. Good, Joey, good.
What's your idea of bravery, Joey? Because it don't seem that brave to me, trying to bury that poor girl down here with you. Or are you too scared to let her free?
I'm not scared of anything. Not anymore. Forever will be a game.
So tell me, Joey, tell me true. What burned you most?
I don't like you, mate.
Losing Tina or losing Tina to Darren?
You want to watch that mouth of yours, Pilgrim?
Another disaster in a catalogue of disasters. Just another letdown. I mean, what could you possibly have to live for anyway, Portable?
What did you call me?
Let down by the army, mocked at home, betrayed, abandoned, hopeless. I can see why living here in this rancid dung heap might appeal.
Pilgrim, I'll smash your bloody face in.
Ah, there's the Portable we know and love.
Don't let him sway you, Joey.
Hill has made a coward of you.
It made me brave.
And now you would dupe this poor girl as you were duped. Very brave.
Make him shut up, my lord. The power rests with you, dear Joey. But one bite and the girl is yours. And we'll be happy. And you will be our valiant protector.
Valiant protector. That sounds nice.
She's gonna bite it, Joey.
Of course I'm gonna bite it.
And what am I supposed to do? Listen to Palmer, to Pilgrim. Stop her. But I want her. I want to hear her with me.
She's not yours to take, Joey. One.
What?
We both messed up that night we came down here. You can't want to make the same mistake again, so stop her, please.
How?
Just do it.
I can't.
Now.
Hey, my apple! What are you doing, Joey?
It's all right, I've got you.
Well done, Joey.
The times we might have had, dear Joey. The larks.
Think we ought to be leaving, don't you? Come on down.
Can we just get out of here now, please?
I won't forgive this pilgrim.
You had your sport, my lord. May your road lead you home to the summer barrows.
Pilgrim!
Pilgrim. That was the word he said, and then he opened his eyes. What did he mean by that?
Search me. And the thorns?
Just disappeared.
Mr. Judge!
You again, Palmer?
We brought someone to see you.
All right, Abel.
Joey?
The one and only.
Where on earth did they find you? And what are you doing with the thorn bush?
Where's the place you wanted this planted, Billy?
It's by the yellow gravestone. It's the same place as the last one.
Right.
Did council give permission?
A few old thorns, Abel. Where's the arm?
So it's good knowing you, Mr. Jackson.
Are you off then? No, not like that, Joey.
I think I know how to dig a hole.
Wait there.
So, it's back to the books then.
Back to the books.
You can't stay longer.
I'm late as it is. Does Joey remember anything?
Nothing.
And all the changes, Darren and Tina?
Took it in his stride. Even wished him well. I was amazed. We'll never forget you, William.
We'll see.
You gonna stand over me like that?
I'm just looking.
Be seeing you, Nora.
Take care of yourself.
You too.
Will you please tell him to back off?
Don't speak to Mr. Jackson like that.
A very good morning to you, my lord.
I am disappointed in you, Pilgrim.
Until we meet again, Mr. Mulverhay.
There is news of the old man of Arimathea.
News?
But time is short, and he grows so very old.
What news?
So very weary. Adieu, Pilgrim. Adieu.
Mr. Mulverhay. Mr. Mulverhay!
In Part 2 of Pilgrim by Sebastian Baczkiewicz. Pilgrim was played by Paul Hilton, Noreen by Trisha Kelly, Darren Robert Lonsdale, and Tina by Jill Cardo. Joey was Benjamin Askew, Mulverhay and Les Paul Ryder, Jags was Malcolm Tierney, and the girl was Agnes Bateman. Pilgrim was directed by Jessica Drum-Gould.
Now another adventure in our series of afternoon plays about William Palmer, a man cursed with immortality and forced to walk between our world and a world of myth and magic, a very dangerous place to be. Pilgrim by Sebastian Baczkiewicz.
Towards me!
Goldman is hurt, sir. Bleeding. Just keep on her trail. And act only on my order.
Over there! Towards the walker's hut! He's coming towards you!
Give me the gun. She's turning on us. I said give me the gun. And keep the light on her. She's coming straight for us. I said stay still.
Bring the rakes. Hurry.
You men there! Over here now! Bring the Range Rover!
Get more light over here. And keep the camera on the wolf. She's only a girl, Mr. Hammondfield. Oh, you are a wonder, are you not? Frail Williams. As soon as she's completely under, get her in the van.
Are you doing this?
All will be well, child. All will be well.
Of all the tales told on these islands, few are as strange as that of William Palmer, cursed apparently on the road to Canterbury in the spring of 1185 for denying the presence of the Otherworld by the king of the Greyfolk or fairy himself, and compelled to walk from that day to this between the worlds of magic and of men, and subsequently known in all the strange and wonderful lore attributed to the mysterious William Palmer as Pilgrim.
Oh, a terrible day.
Sorry?
The weather, terrible. Didn't happen to know where I might find a Mr. Palmer.
There's something I can help you with?
Oh, are you he?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Mr. Palmer. I was expecting someone much older.
Older?
Young faces. Antiquarian books. Not quite what one expects. And it's odd, too.
Odd?
Odd to find you here.
Sorry?
Rain, car boot sale. Eccentric. Plays with one's expectations. Oh, is this a first edition of David Copperfield?
You take care with the cover there.
Of course. Forgive me.
One's expectations of what?
Oh, of making a new discovery.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
As a matter of fact, I am. Have you anything on the occult? 15th, 16th century, say?
Well, what I have is over here. It's not a very wide selection.
Oh. Very good condition. Actually, there is a particular book I'm trying to trace.
Oh, yes.
Dates, I believe, from the 16th century. Illustrated, too. El Vagabundo del Diablo, that's its Spanish title. The Devil's Wanderer. Do you know Lisbon, Mr. Palmer?
Sadly, no.
Oh, it's a mecca for book lovers.
So I've heard.
And there's a little shop there, just off this absolutely charming little square, with roses carved above the door.
Well, as I was saying, I don't think I have anything that old.
Well, I'm searching in vain, I'm sure. But the book has an absolutely fascinating history. The proprietor there put me onto it. Tells, apparently, of a man accursed. Imagine that.
Accursed?
Cursed. Cursed to walk the earth at the behest of the devil. Although apparently in the context of the text, and this is only as I learned, you understand, from the proprietor, the devil refers not to old Nick himself, but more to the other folk.
The other folk?
The fairies and elves and whatnot. Greyfolk, the author refers to them as. Suspended in the space between worlds. Silly nonsense, I know.
And the author is...
Well, there's the thing, Mr. Palmer. Nobody knows. Legend states that it's self-penned.
In Spanish?
That's the only known copy. But my man in Lisbon, the proprietor, swears it's a translation. The autobiography of a cursed soul. Imagine.
Well, I'll be sure and keep an eye out for that.
You've not heard of it, then?
No.
It's not a holy grail for you fellas?
No.
How odd.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Well, Mr. Palmer, I've taken up enough of your time.
Not at all.
But just imagine, though, tracking down the author. What a coup, eh? Imagine what it would be like if someone were, say, talking to him right now.
I'm sorry, I don't think I caught your name.
Oh, take my card.
All my numbers are there.
Haddonfield. The banking house.
Donald, please. You can call any time you like. Very good to have spoken with you today, Mr. Palmer.
And you, Mr. Haddonfield.
You should try and eat, Freya.
None of this is necessary, Mrs. Wilson. You can let me go, you can.
We only want to do what's best for you.
Oh, what's best for me?
These tests are perfectly straightforward.
Why are you doing them then?
To test your levels of health and fitness.
Find the beast within?
We don't look at it that way.
I know, you know this is wrong. I can see it. And what are these other sounds? I hear animals. Are there animals here?
Please, Freya, I do appreciate that this is difficult for you. We all do, but you must try and trust us.
Let me out of this cave.
After you've eaten, you should try and get some sleep. Sleep's the very best thing.
You can't do this! You can't! You can't keep me here!
On your left, keep together here, please. We can see a portrait of the bank's founder, Elias Haddonfield, painted in 1762 by Sir Joshua Reynolds. Elias began trading humbly as the proprietor of a coffee shop just off Gracechurch Street, but quickly expanded his business across the known world. At the time that this portrait was commissioned, he already ran a shipping line bringing coffee, tea and spices into London from the Caribbean and the New World.
Enslaved?
Elias was, unfortunately, a man of his time. Yes, sir.
I see.
As the company expanded, Elias began to take a stronger interest in banking and developed an early form of investment management.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
What's that he's holding in his hand, the scroll?
It's reputed to be a picture of the Archangel Michael, sir. The warrior angel.
He appears to have the head of a wolf.
The better to fight off dragons, sir. Now, if you'd all like to follow me, we
But it must have had some significance for Elias Haddonfield, this angel of his.
I have no idea, sir. Now, if everyone would like to follow me into the ceremonial hall, known affectionately here at Haddonfield as the Lobster, due to its striking pink and red tone.
So there's no significance to it? The wolf-headed angel?
None that I know of. Please, follow me, everyone, and we can see the Lobster.
Pilgrim.
McAdam? Looking for someone, Mr. Palmer?
Mr. Haddonfield, how did you...
Surveillance. It's a sorry symptom of a sorry age. Now, up there, do you see? We try to keep the cameras discreet. Well, any news on the Devil's Wanderer? Or are you just taking the tour?
Well, nobody I've spoken to has any knowledge of the book. I'm sorry.
No, that's a great pity. That really is.
It's very impressive. Building.
You think so?
Steeped in tradition.
Well, perhaps you'd like to join me for lunch.
I wouldn't want to impose.
There'd be no imposition. Are you sure you're not looking for someone?
Perhaps some other time.
You do intrigue me, Mr. Palmer.
I do?
There's definitely something about you.
If I hear anything about the book, I'll be in touch.
All that moving about you do. Book fair to book fair, car boot sale to car boot sale. It must be fascinating, anthropologically.
Anthropologically?
It's a passion of mine. Of course, I don't have the freedom to indulge it as much as I'd like. I'm not as fortunate as you, Mr. Palmer. The open road does not stretch endlessly before me.
I'm sorry?
You have your freedom. You're not hidebound as I am, forced to stand in the shadows of my ancestors.
It's a very interesting portrait.
It is?
The wolf-headed angel. Fascinating.
I doubt poor Joshua Reynolds had any idea what he was painting.
I've never seen anything quite like it before.
Family tradition has it that it's the sign of the Lupercalia.
The Lupercalia?
An idiotic folly dreamed up by Elias here and a pair of drunken dandies in the 18th century. Dedicated themselves to discovering the realities of the paranormal. Have you not heard of it?
I've not come across it, no.
Still, one supposes they made their amusements where they could. Eh, Mr. Palmer? You interested in that sort of thing?
No, not really.
Well, a load of nonsensical rubbish, if you ask me. Now, are you quite sure about lunch?
I've taken much too much of your time already.
Oh, that is a shame. It really is. The lamb is excellent. Well, be sure and pick up one of our visitor packs on the way out, won't you?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer.
McAdam! Mr. McAdam!
You shouldn't be here, Pilgrim. No, you shouldn't. It ain't right. It ain't right. You've got more important work to do.
Then why call me?
Call you?
That was you.
Me?
In the bank.
They don't sit no more.
Who don't?
The hot bloods. Once upon a day they'd fish here. Just down there by the river's edge. Under the shadow of the big boats, or in winter, skate. Do you remember skating on the river, Pilgrim?
Of course.
Not that you was ever one for levity in them days.
What does Haddonfield want with me?
Haddonfield?
The Lupercalia.
We're the dying breed, Pilgrim. There's them that would watch the river forever, all that time. River passing, tide to tide, and now, well, here I am.
And you watch it very well, Mr. McAdam.
You'd think I'd tire of it, wouldn't you? Yes, you would. I'll never tire, Pilgrim, never. Come and sit by the fire, warm them damn old bones.
Haddonfield knows about the book.
Book?
The Devil's Wanderer.
That silly trifle of yours, best forgotten.
I thought it long lost.
Nothing's lost for very long. River runs it all back. Thought you'd learned that by now.
How did he find me?
He got himself a spirit.
Eh?
I don't know who she is. Not Greyfolk, but from far away. Over the oceans.
The oceans?
Man's a hunter, like all the Haddonfields before, got blood in their eyes. I've seen the boats, the Haddonfield line, stretched all the way down the river once upon a time, and always the cruelest, hardest price, worst conditions.
But why is he hunting me?
Because you're a catch. And they won't be warned. Think walking between worlds is some sort of sport.
Could this spirit have led Haddonfield to me?
Someone's put tobacco in his pipe.
Who is she?
I told you, I don't know. Old, though. Song's so weak I can barely hear it myself.
Well, how is it I haven't heard her?
Maybe you've gone and closed yourself, Pilgrim. All that searching for mortal death you do. When will the bright day come, eh?
The bright day?
When you finally admit you're with the river now.
Because I don't want to be with the river. I've never wanted it, any of it. And if I could get anywhere near Joseph of Arimathea, then I'd end this once and for all. Finish it. Amen.
You got your burdens, Pilgrim. I got mine. And there's another now.
Another what?
Another who cries out, and she's young, barely a child.
A child?
And so lonely there.
So lonely where?
Recent acquisition, I'd say, very recent. Child of the wild places, this one. Changeable.
Changeable?
Something of the wolf.
What do you mean she's an acquisition?
Good hunter always keeps his trophies, no? And there's you and me, and there's the river, and what's anybody going to do about it?
I'm not going to do anything about it.
You've got to do something.
No, I don't.
Poor child suffers.
This is a trick. And you're part of it, McAdam.
I never played you false, Pilgrim. Not in 1,000 hot blood years, and you know that's a fact. That's a plain, hard fact. Yes, you do.
It's too dangerous.
Not like you to shirk, Pilgrim. But you run away if you must. I've got the river to attend to.
Mr. McAdam.
Maltrat?
The police are investigating the girl's disappearance. It's been all over the news.
How's Mrs. Wilson and her team?
Concerned. Deeply concerned. And I'm not sure the police are going to stop looking.
Oh, another week and Freya will be just another missing person. And you and I will both know that she's safe and well looked after.
And so we leave things as they are.
Is the building work nearly complete?
Another few days.
I share your distress, Trent. I do. But you saw what she is, what she can do, the danger that she represents. Paul Goldman's still in hospital.
But we went after her, sir, out there on the moor.
We did what was necessary. We must all bear the burden of this research. Is it easy? No. But you took a vow.
Yeah, I know that, sir.
You and Mrs. Wilson and everybody else involved with this project, a solemn vow. Lupercalia would take it very hard if you were to betray it.
I know that, sir.
And I would hate to lose you. Fetch me that book over there, would you? You treat it gently, with the greatest respect.
Sorry, Mr. Havenfield.
Read the title.
El Vagabundo del Diablo.
Mm-hmm. Now, open the front page. You see the face of the man in the woodcut there?
Yes.
That man was in the bank this morning. I spoke to him.
This man?
In the flesh.
That's impossible.
According to the text, he's some sort of emissary.
Emissary?
A genuine walker between worlds.
But this book must be hundreds of years old.
I know. And I found him, Trent, in a car boot sale in Lee-on-Sea.
You look terrible, William.
I drove all night. Oh, it's very good to see you, Doris.
Come and sit in the garden.
I have to disappear today.
Disappear?
Now, what can you tell me about Donald Haddonfield?
The banker?
He's hunting me.
You need to calm down, William.
It has been 300 years since anything like this has happened, and I won't be lured. It won't be like before.
Won't you at least have a cup of tea?
Have you had any dealings with him?
None whatsoever.
Or the Lupercalia?
The Lupercalia?
It's some kind of society.
I know that no magician's ever taken them very seriously.
Well, I am taking them very seriously.
There is some story, I think, but it's just that.
Tell me.
The bank's founder...
Elias Haddonfield
is supposed to have brought back some sort of a pet demon. It's nonsense. A sailor's tale. I'm not even sure I remember it.
Doris.
Brought it back with him from the West Indies. Sometime in the 18th century. That's all I know.
It exists. This demon.
You sure?
Oh, my.
William. Are you all right?
Oh, I can hear her.
Hear who?
The Haddonfield demon. And there's another.
Another?
Another crying out. It's a girl. Oh, I don't want this. I don't want this anymore.
You have to tell me what you're talking about.
Yeah, Haddonfield has made another acquisition.
Acquisition?
What am I going to do, Doris?
If they need your help, William...
Why won't they let me be?
I don't know, my love. I don't know. But it might be just to find out.
Just? Well, where's my justice? Oh, I can't you stop? They'll never let me free, will they?
I don't know, William.
I'm sorry, Doris. I've got to go.
But you only just got here.
This man, Haddonfield, is very dangerous. Take all precautions.
Well, there is one thing I do know. Haddonfield's supposed to have some kind of research facility on his estate.
Research facility?
Yes, it's like a zoo, apparently. I think he sees himself as some kind of a gentleman scientist.
What's this?
Oh, take it if you like. I finished reading it.
No, this. This picture.
Freya Williams?
Well, you know her?
Poor girl disappeared. Must be a month now. Terrible business.
This is her.
This is who?
The girl I hear.
You sure?
I'll be in touch, Doris. Take care.
Live here.
In your own compound.
My own compound? Who are you people?
Look, all we want All I want, Freya, is for you to be safe. Now, that's not so hard to understand, is it?
Safe?
Well, how long do you really imagine you could have kept your little secret from the rest of the world?
I was doing okay.
Were you?
Yes.
Yes?
Is this some sort of zoo?
Well, more of a laboratory. Research.
Into what?
Into that which cannot be explained.
And that's why you're doing all these tests?
So that we might both be more able to understand you.
You're insane!
Oh, benevolent, Freya. Benevolent. And one day I hope you'll come to appreciate that fact.
And what happens when the moon rises? Huh? What then?
And then we shall at last share in your wonder. And you are just that. A wonder.
We? Who's we?
Mrs. Wilson tells me that you don't eat.
People will come looking for me. And when they do, they'll arrest you. They will.
With your valiant colleagues and that Oudston chemist shop, perhaps?
I have friends.
No, you don't. And we both know that's true. In fact, dear girl, I'm the only friend you've got.
Get me out of here!
You know, eating something really would help, Freya.
I'll kill you, Hasenfeld. One day, I'll kill you for this.
No, Freya. One day you'll thank me. Now sit there quietly and let me explain what's going to happen.
Please sit down, Mr. Palmer.
Thank you.
I'm afraid Mr. Haddonfield won't be back in the office today.
Oh.
Is there something I can help you with at all?
Well, he came to see me about a book he was looking for, and I came to tell him I may know where I can lay my hands on a copy.
Book?
It's a private matter. He knows all about it.
I see. Now, if you'd like to leave your details...
Mr. Haddonfield has my number.
Oh, very well, then. I'll let him know that you called.
I had a devil of a time finding it.
Oh, yes?
Had to go to Devon.
Devon?
A friend of mine runs a bookshop just outside of Oudston.
Really?
To be honest, I didn't quite believe the book actually existed.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Haddonfield will be extremely grateful for your trouble.
Of course, having a terrible time down there at the moment. And this missing girl, Freya Williams.
As I say, I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help.
Oh, you've been more than helpful. Thank you.
Mr. Palmer?
I'm sorry. Thanks again.
And I'll be sure to tell Mr. Haddonfield your news.
Much obliged to you.
Mr. Haddonfield, if you've a moment, sir.
Cuckoo.
Mirabella. Who's that calls me?
A son of Haddonfield.
Old Elias?
Of his line.
And what's your question, worship?
Will the Devil's Wanderer be here tonight?
That's not the name he travels by.
How's he known then?
Pilgrim, worship.
The bookseller?
The bookseller by the sea. But he's a wily one, worship.
Dangerous?
There's yearning in him, same as mine.
What yearning?
A yearning for the winter to end.
You must speak clearer, Mirabella.
Old Elias promised me my freedom.
And you will have it.
No single sign. Never seen no sign.
You know how precious you are to me, sweet Mirabella. Now, what else can you tell me about the Pilgrim?
That's all the song I got to sing, worship. But you best take care.
What's this, Del?
Oh, please, Mr. McAdam, just leave the switches alone.
So, this is a motor vehicle.
Car. It's called a car.
Don't like it.
Now, when we get there, I need you to guide me.
Guide you where?
To the girl.
And what about the other that calls?
I'll do what I can for her.
You've got to help both.
I know. I just want to do what I can and finish this.
Finish this?
Disappear.
Where are you going to run to?
I don't know.
The king will always find you.
It's not the king I'm worried about. Oh, for the last time, will you leave the switches alone?
Security has been increased around the council chamber.
And around the grounds?
Yes, sir.
And the rest of the brethren?
Arriving now.
Just help me with this sash, will you? Never get the damn thing to sit straight.
There's no sign of Palmer.
Oh, he'll be here. You can count on it. Is the girl ready?
As ready as she'll ever be.
Meaning?
Meaning she's not being very cooperative.
One cannot hope for miracles, Trent.
No, sir.
It might be best to keep an eye on Mrs. Wilson.
Mrs. Wilson?
Lost a bit of her appetite, I'd say, for the work. Hate to lose her, but needs must, eh, Trent?
Yes, sir.
Can count on you, though, can't I?
Of course, sir. Always.
Now, why won't this damn sash sit straight?
Got yourself a big house, hasn't he?
Looks like there's some meeting going on.
Them's the lads of the Lupercalia.
You sure?
Cream of society.
Keep with me.
Greyfolk go where they please, Pilgrim.
Can you hear her? Mr. McAdam?
There's a powerful binding going on.
Binding?
Why'd you bring me here, Pilgrim?
Mr. McAdam?
Like a noose around my neck it is. The child's in the stables there. I see her.
Just wait a moment more.
I can't stay here, Pilgrim, I can't. But you've got to listen.
Listen to what?
Mirabella knows you're here.
Mirabella?
Fare thee well, Pilgrim.
Mr. McAdam! Mr. McAdam!
Nothing.
Not a word. She's been curled up like that for the last 2 hours.
And there's been no sign of any change.
None whatsoever.
Mr. Haddonfield wants to present her to the council.
And that's all he wants, isn't it?
Sorry?
To present her to the council. The rest, all work here. It's just a sort of frippery, isn't it?
You shouldn't be speaking like this, Mrs. Wilson.
We have abducted and imprisoned an 18-year-old girl, Trent. Now, don't tell me that doesn't weigh upon your conscience.
We need her upstairs within the hour.
Well, then Mr. Haddonfield can come down and take her himself. Because I want no further part in this.
Mrs. Wilson! Mrs. Wilson!
Freya! Freya!
Who's that?
I'm here to help. But you have to listen to me.
More tricks from Mr. Haddonfield.
No tricks. And I'm no friend of Haddonfield.
How did you get in here?
There isn't much time, but you must do exactly as I tell you, and I may be able to get you out of here.
Who are you?
My name is Palmer, William Palmer.
Why are you people torturing me?
Just do everything they tell you to do. Show no resistance.
They sent you here to break me, haven't they?
No, Freya.
Mrs. Wilson!
No.
Mrs. Wilson! Freya!
What's going on?
Who the hell are you?
What kind of people are you to keep that poor girl locked up like this?
You are to stand away from the glass right now.
Something we can do for you, Mr. Palmer.
You know this man.
And he's coming with me right now. Security!
Freya!
Oh, it's beginning. Water! Need water!
You can't leave her here like that.
Hold on, Freya. Hold on. Get that man out of here, Trent.
Well, now, Mr. Palmer, Here's a fine how do you do.
You have a lot to answer for, Mr. Haddonfield.
As do you. Oh, please excuse the handcuffs. A vulgar, if necessary, precaution.
Kidnapping. Torture.
Torture?
You're keeping that poor girl in a cage.
Let me look at you, Pilgrim.
What did you call me?
The devil's wanderer himself. You are the author, aren't you?
You have to stop whatever it is you're doing
In
now.
such an elegant prose style. Were there any justice, it would be acknowledged as a classic. Where did you write it?
Cordoba.
When?
1642.
In Spanish?
Latin. I see you're wearing the sign.
The sign?
The wolf-headed angel. The Lupercalia.
And you, dear Pilgrim, will be its greatest prize.
Prize?
We've prepared a very comfortable home for you here.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
Tell me, how do you bear it? This curse of yours.
Mirabella is a formidable spirit.
I beg your pardon?
More powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Mirabella?
Yes, Mr. Haddonfield, Mirabella, and enslaving her is a terrible mistake. No, but that's what you Haddonfields do, isn't it? Enslave, capture.
I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, Trent?
We have the moon, sir.
Are the brethren gathered in the council chamber?
They are, sir.
I'm begging you, Haddonfield.
Begging me?
Leave this be.
I'll be back for you in just a tick. Trent?
Yes, sir.
Keep a close eye on Mr. Palmer here. Is the sash still sitting straight?
Perfect.
He'll kill you all, you know.
Thank you for your concern. What's that?
What's what?
That's singing.
It sounds as if it's coming from that cabinet over there.
What do you want to, Palmer? It's coming from in here.
Best left alone, I'd say.
What is?
Whatever it is that's in there.
Oh, I can't bear this.
I really wouldn't open that cabinet.
Make it stop!
I can do nothing.
Is that a bottle?
May I see?
Oh, there's something inside it. What is that?
I'd put it down if I were you.
What is that?
Pilgrim.
An honor, Mirabella.
You know this thing? Shut up, Trent.
Has the winter come to its end?
The winter? What's he talking about? The winter?
Just be quiet, Trent. The spring will soon be here, Mirabella. But there's business still to do.
Would you play me false, Pilgrim?
Never, Mirabella, never.
What the hell are you doing?
You will be quiet. They make so much noise, them creatures, and no imagination.
How so?
Them Haddonfields kept me close for centuries, and always the same request: money, land, influence. This one's different, though.
Different?
Wants to catch them that should never be captured.
Well, you mean Freya?
I mean you, Pilgrim.
Brethren of the Lupercalia, welcome. Tonight we have, at long last, proof. Proof of what we have for so long sought. A lycanthrope. Indisputable and unimaginable. And not only that. Tonight I will present evidence of the undeniable presence of another world. Another consciousness existing side by side with our own. A world as ancient and profound as any civilization on Earth, and one which has, until now, barely been glimpsed. And yes, of course, we've had our detractors, our vilifiers, but the rational eye perceives only what it expects and can explain. But we, brethren of the Lupercalia, have had faith. And tonight that faith will be repaid 1,000 times over. I present you all a changeling, a she-wolf, a Luper cow. As you can clearly see, the video footage just didn't do her justice.
That's enough, Otherworld.
Hold that man.
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
I'd advise you to put that bottle down.
Stop this disgusting display now.
There's the true protector to the end. Hey, Pilgrim?
I cannot stress the danger that you all face.
Look into those eyes. Those are the cursed eyes of 1,000 years.
I will break the seal on this bottle.
I doubt you would be so stupid. Place the Luper cow in the moonlight. You see, gentlemen, how the creature's stars resembles that of a
What will you do if I release you?
What I must, but you've got to decide, Pilgrim. It all rests with you.
How the beast's physiognomy has drastically altered.
Enough, Haddonfield.
Do put that bottle down, Pilgrim.
No.
But you'd release a spirit that could destroy us all. I doubt that even you would be so cavalier.
Oh, wouldn't I?
You have nothing to gain from it but destruction.
Then destruction it is.
Don't touch that seal!
Behold, ladies and gentlemen, Mirabella!
I can breathe, Pilgrim.
Answer to me, Mirabella, and only to me.
I have waited so long for the sons of Haddonfield.
Please, gentlemen, please. Stay with us. There's nothing to be alarmed by, nothing.
Freya!
Shoot her! Shoot her! Why isn't anybody shooting?
No, Freya, no!
Get it away from me!
Yes, Pilgrim. Stop this. And what will Pilgrim have me do?
Get the girl away from me.
At once.
Please. No. I beg you. Spare me.
Worship's time has come.
What? Mirabella.
And long awaited.
You can't do this to me. I'm your master.
No, Mirabella!
Don't let her do this, Father!
Very good to see you today, Mr. Palmer.
Sir Trent?
Yes? Mr. Haddonfield has a visitor, Mrs. Wilson.
Mr. Palmer, isn't it?
That's right.
If you'd like to follow me.
His own private hospital. Impressive.
Is Freya well?
It's a cost him a fortune.
Please send her my very best, won't you?
Is he through here?
Don't be put off by Mr. Haddonfield's appearance. He's quite well, physically.
Oh, my.
Can't say anything, of course.
And he's been like this since.
Exactly as you see him now.
There may be something I can do.
The Lupercalia will take good care of him. Won't we, Donald?
He can't be left like this.
I'm glad that Freya is well. Very glad. Here,
What are these?
all the CCTV footage.
Everything.
Everything I could find. And the book.
El Vagabundo del Diablo.
It is yours, isn't it?
Mr. McAdam!
For you done a runner, Pilgrim.
Where is it?
Where's what?
The bottle.
What bottle?
The bottle containing Haddonfield.
Mirabella gave it me for safekeeping.
And where's Mirabella?
With the wind, Pilgrim. Where else?
He has to be released.
Not my decision to make. tain't right.
It ain't right to leave Haddonfield without a soul.
It's over there.
Over where? Over where, Mr. McAdam?
In the river, Pilgrim. Far away. Now, why don't you come over here? Warm them damp old bones.
And what are the rules, Doris?
The rules? There are no rules, Freya.
There are always rules.
Not here. You're safe.
I think that's the last of my things.
Won't you stay a little longer, William?
I best not.
I'd like to talk to you, Mr. Palmer.
Freya.
In private?
I'll be inside if you need me.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Take care of yourself, William.
She says you're leaving.
That's right.
Can I come with you?
Well, this is the best place you could be.
I wanted to kill him, you know. Haddonfield.
You did right by not.
Will I see you again?
At some point, I'm sure.
That's a no, innit?
All will be well, Freya. You'll see.
You sound like Haddonfield.
Take care.
Why does everybody leave me?
Say goodbye to Doris for me. Mirabella?
Always so sad.
What's our business here?
He lives in the house of Hardwick,
Who does?
in a shelter from the sea.
You must talk plainer, Mirabella.
Joseph of Arimathea.
What did you say? Mirabella? Mirabella? Thank you.
In Part 3 of Pilgrim by Sebastian Baczkiewicz, Pilgrim was played by Paul Hilton, Haddonfield by Adrian Lucas, Freya Alex Tregear, and Doris by Susan Engel. McAdam was played by Dudley Sutton, Trent was Gunnar Corthry, Wilson Donla Hughes, Mirabella Janice Aqua, and the museum guide was Inam Mirza. The girl was Agnes Bateman. Pilgrim was directed by Mark Beebe.
Now for Pilgrim's last adventure in our current series. Paul Hilton stars as William Palmer, forced to walk between the worlds of magic and of men, and this week facing his greatest challenge yet. This is Pilgrim by Sebastian Baczkiewicz.
And you prefer it? The candles?
We find it soothes in the evening after a long day.
You don't like electricity, Mrs. Makepeace?
I've got nothing against it. We just like it like this. What with Joe's eyes. And it's Sylvie, please, Mr. Siler.
Malachi. And who's this handsome fellow, Sylvie?
That's Ron, my late husband in the army in Egypt. And those are our beautiful girls.
All 5 of them? How very industrious of you.
We talk every week.
That's very good to hear, Sylvie. It's important for everyone to keep in touch. Isn't that right, Joseph?
Can I get you anything, Mr. Siler?
Sylvie.
Malachi. Tea.
I'm just fine as I am, sitting here. We 3, in the candlelight. Makes me very happy.
I got no business with you, Styler.
Well, we at head office have been very concerned, Joseph. And I can't tell you what a dog of a time I've had tracking you down.
Did you not hear me?
That's no way to talk to your solicitor, Joe.
He's not my solicitor. He's an ambassador of hell.
Joseph.
You said earlier you'd had some bad news, Mrs. Makepeace.
I'm serious, Sylvie.
Perhaps it's best if Mr. Styler knows.
Knows what?
That I'm not in the best of health. My heart.
I am sorry to hear that.
This is no concern of his.
And if I'm honest, I don't know what I'm going to do about Joseph.
Well, you needn't worry about him anymore. We at head office intend to take very good care of him.
That's it, Styler. Out.
Out? But we haven't even talked about the sleepers.
The sleepers?
Impious angel, I command you to be gone.
Angel?
Don't be wearisome, Joseph.
I said...
I know what you said, old man. And I command you to sit down.
Joseph!
Oh, he'll be all right, I do assure you. Now, Sylvie.
Are those wings?
Handsome, aren't they? Don't look so staggered, Sylvie. I suppose I'm what old Joe would insist on calling an avenging angel.
Angel.
But personally, I like to think of myself as merely a humble agent of good old-fashioned righteousness. But I can't even begin to fulfil my potential without William Palmer. Now, please go and get your hat, Sylvie, because we've really no time to lose.
Of all the tales told on these islands, few are as strange as that of William Palmer. Cursed apparently on the road to Canterbury in the spring of 1185 for denying the presence of the Otherworld by the king of the Greyfolk or fairy himself, and compelled to walk from that day to this between the worlds of magic and of men, and subsequently known in all the strange and wonderful lore attributed to the mysterious William Palmer as Pilgrim.
Are you a witch, Doris?
I don't have a broomstick, if that's what you mean, Freya. Oh, just look at the sun on the sea today. Beautiful.
Then what are you?
Well, like you, I don't really know.
You don't transform, though, do you?
I don't have your gift, Freya. No.
Wouldn't call it that.
Wouldn't you?
More a curse.
How you look at what you have is very much up to you.
Well, how would you see it?
I don't know what you want me to say.
I want to know that I have a future.
Everyone and everything has a future, Freya.
Even girls who turn into wolves.
Even girls who turn into wolves.
Wish I shared your confidence.
It's all about trust, Freya.
Is that right?
That's absolutely right.
And Palmer?
What about him?
Will we ever see him again?
William does as William does. He was ever thus.
Does that mean I will or I won't?
It means I just don't know. Come.
Where are we going?
There's a place I want you to see.
Which is?
Just follow me.
But you know where he is, though, don't you?
No.
Honestly.
I did mean it when I promised not to lie to you, Freya.
He's in danger.
You're sure?
Positive.
What kind of danger?
I don't know exactly. It's like a kind of fury.
Juliana! Juliana!
Will someone turn that alarm off?
Let me go. Let me go!
If you continue to struggle, sir, we'll be forced to call the police.
Will you just leave me alone?
For your own sake, sir, I'd advise that you settle down and come with us peacefully.
Take your hands off me!
You can let him go!
Excuse me?
You can let him go. He's with me.
With you?
Now, don't be silly, William.
What?
Just let's leave and let everyone get on with their work.
Do I know you?
He has trouble sometimes in the head, don't you, William?
I've never ever seen this woman before.
Now, we don't want to get ourselves arrested now, do we, William?
No.
Then you get him out of here right now.
We're on our way, aren't we, love?
Yes.
Yes, come on.
Yes.
And don't come back, because if I ever see you again, it'll be a matter for the police.
Yeah, come on, William. Come on.
He who would valiantly gainst all disaster.
And if she doesn't find this man, Palmer?
Oh, she'll find him, Joseph, don't you worry. There's no discouragement shall make him once relent. Join in, Joe.
Don't be ridiculous, Malachi.
His first avowed intent to be a pilgrim. Think the knife's sharp enough? Yes? No? Perfect.
If you intend to kill me, I'd appreciate it if you got on with it.
Nothing would give me greater pleasure, my dear old sausage, believe me. But unfortunately, spilling your esteemed and eternal blood is not within my humble gift.
What?
For that, we need good old reliable Pilgrim.
Pilgrim?
Never heard of him?
No.
Well, you will. You will.
Oh, be gone from this place, demon.
Demon? There's a term we don't use much at head office.
Oh, is it not what you are, then?
What I am is so far beyond the bounds of your feeble imagination that it makes me quite giddy just thinking about it.
And so very smug to boot.
Now, that's not a very nice way to speak to your liberator, Joe.
My liberator?
Yes, Joe, your liberator. And I have come a long way to oversee your final initiation.
Into what?
Into the world of light you have so assiduously avoided for far too long.
You mean to use this pilgrim to kill me?
Well, as he's cursed, as you are, and as the rules rather tiresomely, but categorically, state that only an immortal being may snuff the wretched life out of another immortal being, I have to, somewhat reluctantly, bow to their will. Don't look so crestfallen, Joe. I'd have thought it would be a blessed relief for everybody, especially you.
I had hoped that when my time came I would do better than Malachi Styler.
It's in this wood somewhere. I know it is.
What is?
Over here. Now, look.
What am I looking at?
The oak tree here.
And
now, how old would you say it is?
No idea.
Then take a guess, girl.
Couple of 100 years? I don't know. Look, Doris, what's the point of all this?
It's actually 500 years old.
So?
And when William planted it, he'd already been alive for 360 years.
That's impossible.
But true.
Who is he to you, then?
A sort of father, I suppose. Like you, I never knew my parents. And that's why if he wants to be left alone, we have to respect it. No matter how hard that might be to accept or understand.
We've got to get out of here.
What?
Seriously, Doris, we've got to get out of this wood right now.
Perhaps you're right. We ought to be heading back.
What do those birds want?
I have no idea. Take my hand. There you are.
This is the rage.
The rage?
Like the rage that's after Palmer.
Well, let's not say anything more until we're safely out of this wood.
Yeah, sorry.
As I am a little. But let's not panic.
They're tearing at my hair.
Keep moving.
They're lifting me off my feet.
Don't struggle. Struggling is the worst thing you can do.
Malachi Styler. He definitely said his name was Malachi Styler.
And he had wings. Great black wings. I thought he was Joe's solicitor.
Is that how he described himself?
As if butter wouldn't melt. Said he'd come from head office. Not much room in here, is there, William?
Sorry about the mess. And he sent you to find me?
Said I'd find you in the big Tesco's near Bristol. I'd waited there 2 days. 2 whole days. Not knowing what to think. But then, when I saw you, I knew.
Good old Malachi.
Do you know him?
Our paths have crossed.
He wanted me to give you this. Said it was a first edition.
Oh, this is incredible. incredible.
Is it?
Printed, engraved, and published by William Blake himself.
Malachi said you were to read the inscription.
So fare thee well, sad pilgrim, on the vast and lonely path, and safe you keep from angry seraphim, who blind wise Joseph to his hearth.
Is it valuable?
Or the book or the message?
Both.
Well, I'd say the book was worth over £1 million.
Pounds?
Pounds?
And I've been walking about it in my bag for 3 days. I even looked at it on the bus.
How long has this man, Joseph, been staying with you?
Over 30 years. Who's Juliana?
Juliana's my wife.
Have you lost her?
She's buried there.
In Tesco's?
Long before Tesco's.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. My husband Ron found him.
Found him?
Said he stepped out of the shadows in the park and sort of collapsed at his feet.
Stepped out of the shadows?
Ron said it was as if the night itself folded open, like a rose. I didn't know what to think at first. I was worried about the girls. And there was no room for him, not in our little flat. But Ron was so certain, so clear. Said old Joseph was a gift, and we were to treat him as such. And Ron was right. He was absolutely right.
In what way was he right?
Joe brought us luck.
What kind of luck?
Happiness.
Joseph brought you happiness?
And peacefulness.
Where do you live, Sylvie?
Live?
What's your address?
412 Hardwick House, near the old port.
Hardwick House?
Do you know it?
The House of Hardwick, in a shelter from the sea.
Are you all right, William?
Pilgrim.
Oh, fine. Fine.
What's wrong, William?
Nothing. Go on.
Joey's our touchstone. Always has been. Cared for us all. And now...
And now?
Now I'm dying, William. Dr. Charles gave me 6 months at the outside. It's all right. I'm quite resolved. But that's why I wasn't surprised.
Surprised?
Malachi turning up on our doorstep, the smiles dripping off him. I thought it was more of our good fortune. Or for me, eh?
Pilgrim.
Would you excuse me a second?
He's very dangerous, isn't he?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Oh. Well, we'd better get a move on because I can't stand the thought of Josephine.
It's been too long, Pilgrim.
Mariana?
Have you missed me?
God-forsaken spot this, isn't it?
Well, you'd know all about that, wouldn't you, Malachi?
14 floors up and all you can see is grey.
I like it here.
The wealth of creation all about them, and the best they can come up with is this. Grey buildings, grey people, grey souls. Still, she's quite a girl, isn't she? Sylvie. I like her.
She's a good person, Styler. An innocent person.
We're none of us innocent, Joseph.
She's never done anyone any harm in her life.
That you know of.
Oh, all you see is the bad.
All I see is that which must be cleansed.
Cleansed?
Put right. Redeemed.
And who's this man, Palmer?
Another unholy creature. Cursed as you.
You're a fine one to talk about unholy.
Sticks and stones, my dear old fruit. Sticks and stones.
Is he of the Greyfolk?
Don't you listen to a word I say. He's as you, Joseph. Of course, he didn't have quite the same CV. No Saviour's tomb. No Arthur. No Grail. A foot soldier at best. I had the great pleasure of defeating him once.
Defeating him?
Oh, it was centuries ago. Surprisingly, he put up quite a fight, but he'll think twice about crossing me again. still. He'll be fit for purpose, I'm sure. Lovely.
You have to destroy Sylvie's cushions.
And it's not as if you didn't bring this sorry situation on yourself. Have you tried these biscuits, by the way? They're delicious.
Oh, myself.
By walking out of the outpost, leaving the sleepers unattended.
Not forever.
Not forever? How feeble is that? You walked out on the sleepers, and now, rather unfortunately for you and the king of the Greyfolk, they're waking up.
Waking up?
Of course they're waking up. You're not there to sound the bell, are you? And if you're not there to sound the bell, and the sleepers wake before their time, then, well, you don't need me to spell it out for you, do you?
Chaos.
Oh, it'll be a lot worse than that, my old sausage. All the Greyfolk in disarray. Nobody to defend Albion. And with the Greyfolk running every which way without their precious sleeping army to defend them, there'll be rich pickings.
Rich pickings?
For me and the rest of the assembly. And we can at long last restore order, peace and righteousness to these barren lands. But first, we've got to get rid of you, haven't we?
And if this man Palmer refuses to kill me...
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that.
Why not?
Because should he show any resistance, I'll snap what's left of his soul in two. Now, I don't know about you, old sport, but I could murder a cup of tea.
What have you done to Sylvia, Ariana?
Won't you kiss me, Pilgrim?
I asked you a question.
And I have stopped time to answer it. Now, where's that kiss?
It's your business here.
Stubborn as ever. I've missed that. Especially given the scale of your incompetence.
My incompetence?
The king of the Greyfolk sets you a perfectly straightforward task, and you completely muck it up.
What task?
Frankly, it amazes me he holds you in such high regard. But then again, he hasn't borne your child, has he?
What task?
Or been abandoned by you. How is the child, by the way?
I won't ask you again.
Malachi Styler has the old man of Arimathea.
I know.
And all you had to do was find Joseph and return him to the outpost.
The outpost? What outpost?
The last outpost. Guarding the sleepers.
Joseph of Arimathea guards the sleepers.
Are you going to repeat every word I say?
I can't defeat Styler.
Can't you?
The last time I met him, it took me over 100 years to recover.
Hot blood years.
My years.
The sleepers are stirring.
Stirring?
And reaching for their swords.
But this is not the time.
I know, Pilgrim. This is very far from the time, and that's why you were sent to put the old man back on his throne at the outpost.
Joseph deserted the sleepers?
And betrayed us all for a breath of fresh air.
All that time? All that searching? It was all a trick? Making me believe that the old man could help me die?
This unfortunate situation requires a little more than your self-pity, Pilgrim.
Self-pity?
If Styler injures the old man in any way, then the gates will be open for that malevolent angel and the rest of the assembly to wipe us all out.
No, I won't do it. Let the Greyfolk suffer as I have. What do I care?
Oh, you would care very much if the assembly controlled these lands. Had you at their beck and call for all eternity, nobody to protect you. Still, I can't say I expected very much more from you, Pilgrim. This cannot be described as the most comfortable of lodgings, can they?
There's something else, isn't there, Arianath?
Something else?
What is it?
Won't you kiss me as once you did on those wild high fields above the sea? Or are you still pining?
Pining?
For the ghost of the very long-dead Juliana.
We have no further business, Arianath. I will do no more for you or for the king.
Well, if you will do no more for me, you might at least consider Doris and Freya.
What?
They're quite safe. But they put up quite a fight, I may tell you.
If you've harmed them...
Don't you threaten me, my love.
Oh, is there nothing you won't do?
What, to stop our world being torn apart? No, Pilgrim, there isn't.
And if I return the old man to the outpost?
Then Freya and Doris will be released.
And if I fail?
You cannot fail.
I already told you I'm no match for Malachi Styler.
You did love me once, Pilgrim. I know you did.
I am not of your kind, Arianna. I never was, never shall be.
But we have our child.
A child you threaten?
Return Joseph to his throne.
I can't defeat an insane angel.
Adieu, Pilgrim.
Arianna!
The thought of Joseph being alone with him.
Sylvie?
Yes, William? Why are you looking at me like that?
I think it's time we paid our respects to Malachi Styler.
Freya? Can you hear me, Freya?
Where are we?
I'm not sure.
And it's so cold.
Come over here, child.
What did those birds want with us?
I don't know. But I think we should sit tight.
I can see someone over there.
I'm serious, Freya. Stay with me.
Are those bodies? There are hundreds of them.
The sleepers.
You're frightened, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And that's why we should wait and do nothing.
Wait.
For whoever's brought us to the last outpost.
So I said to them, the boys at head office, I said that if I can't find the old man of Arimathea within the next week, then the Assembly could send another operative. And you know what, Joseph?
What?
They almost did, the scoundrels. But if they thought I was going to let a prize like you slip through my fingers...
You sow nothing but terror.
I do like these candles, don't you? We sow strength and purity. Ah, at long last, Pilgrim.
Malachi lit the candles.
What?
Up there, see? 14th floor, fourth window along.
We're expected, then. It might be best if you stay down here, Sylvie, where it's safe.
And leave Joe alone.
No, you won't be alone.
I've lived up there in that little flat for 47 years, William. It's my home.
No, I'm serious, Sylvie.
Coming?
Arthur's army.
What's left of it?
As in King Arthur. Doris?
Just let me sit here quietly.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. I just don't feel so well.
Is it the sleepers?
No.
Then what?
I'm old, Freya, and not as strong as I once was.
Take my hand.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if these sleepers wake, what then?
Then the worlds of magic and of men will be united. United and protected. But the time must be exactly right.
Why?
Because if the army wakes up before its time, then the sleepers will crumble all to dust.
But how will they know when it's the right time?
She does have an awful lot of questions, doesn't she, Doris?
Who are you and what are we doing here?
You see?
Perhaps, great lady, you'd do us the courtesy of introducing yourself.
With the greatest of pleasure. I am Arianna,
a sister of Avalon.
A sister of what?
How very wise you are, Doris. And polite, too.
I don't care who she is. I want to know what we're doing here.
Sit down, Freya, and be quiet.
What?
Just do it, child.
Thank you, Doris.
And now, I think we ought to let Arianna do as she sees fit, Freya.
Who takes sugar in their tea?
Where's Joseph?
All in good time, Pilgrim. Sylvie, 1 number 2.
I'm fine just as I am, thank you.
But of course you are. Did you like the book, Pilgrim?
Most impressive.
It is, isn't it?
Who's Pilgrim?
So fare thee well, sad pilgrim, on the vast and lonely path, and safe you keep from angry seraphim, who blind wise Joseph to his hearth.
Very nice, Malachi. Perhaps you'd care to explain it?
Can you not work it out for yourself?
I'm nothing like as wise as you.
And ain't that the truth, eh, Sylv?
We'd like to see Joseph, please, Malachi.
I composed it in something of a rush, but, well, you were the Pilgrim, obviously, and wise Joseph is wise Joseph, which I suppose makes me the angry seraphim.
But what's so special about Joseph?
Wise Joseph, wise?
Yes.
Of Arimathea? Or did you mean any old Joseph?
Arimathea?
Wouldn't try and get your head round it, love. Now, Pilgrim, we have work to do. Let's go.
Go with you where?
What have you done with Joseph, Demon?
That's not a term I like to hear, Sylvie.
No?
No. Now, Pilgrim.
I don't know what you are or what you're doing in my flat, but I want to see Joe right this minute.
It might be best if you let this be, Sylvie.
I won't stand here in my front room where I brought up my girls, and be insulted by this ambassador of hell.
Seriously, Sylvie.
You know, I'd really love to tell you that we have the luxury to wait for that heart condition of yours to finally kick in, but we don't, dear Sylvie. We just don't. Thanks for all you've done, and I don't do this without regret.
What?
Put her down, Styler.
Oh, William.
You won't feel a thing, my love. You have my word on it.
She did you no harm, Malachi.
Hope you brought your swimmers. Because head office thought it would be more appropriate to dispatch the old buzzard here, by the sea.
Where are we?
Boscastle's that way.
Joseph?
Waits for you down there on the beach. Oh, and here are the weapons. I've sharpened them, so no need to worry.
You know, I never understood it, Malachi.
Understood what, dear Pilgrim?
Your appetite for cruelty.
We both know it's war. Now, not another word. We've got work to do. Here's the knife.
I'd like to do it alone.
What?
Well, don't you think he deserves to die with a little dignity?
Dignity?
Yes, Malachi, dignity. After all, what choice do either of us have but to do as you want?
I suppose.
You can watch from here.
Oh, please stop.
Just a little reminder, Pilgrim, of the last time.
Yes.
And we wouldn't want to go through that again, would we?
I'll do as you command.
Good. Off you go, then. And no silly malarkey, or I'll know.
What reassurances can I give you, Freya?
So, we wait here, as your prisoners.
Best not to provoke her, Freya.
Well said, Doris. Beautifully said.
And if this old man of yours doesn't come back?
Then it's disaster for all of us. One can only hope that Pilgrim succeeds.
Pilgrim? We've got to help Doris.
Go and bring some water from the well over there.
What?
Just do it, child.
Dead. Murdered.
How?
Styler threw her out the window.
I see.
And he'll go after Sylvie's daughters if we don't get this done, Joseph.
I heard that you were cursed by the king of the Greyfolk himself, Pilgrim.
Well, Malachi told you.
I know all about your son. Word spreads, even to the outpost.
Well, then you'll know that I've completely failed.
Failed?
Failed to protect Sylvie, failed to protect my own.
Your own?
Kidnapped by the Greyfolk.
In exchange for me?
In exchange for you. And I have failed to end my curse.
Go on.
I believed that I might find you, the great man of Arimathea, and that you might kill me. Finish it forever. Ridiculous.
I remember the first time I sailed this coast. We had 5 ships in all. Lost 2 in the crossing. And the island shone like a jewel in the sea. And there were those amongst us who thought we'd arrived at the very end of the world. Scared, lost, yearning for home. But not me.
No?
No. Because I knew. Up there on the deck, with the great sail chafing in the wind behind me, that this jewel would have me and never let me go. And 2,000 years later, here I am, on the same shore, lost, yearning for home.
Why did you desert the outpost? Leave the sleepers? You must have known that there would be consequences.
Consequences?
War.
Because I wanted to breathe the air again. Feel the sea spray on my face. Like you, Pilgrim, I have been denied my death. Not the easiest of burdens, as you know. But let's do it. But like you, I too feel the weight of my responsibilities.
What?
Malachi's the key.
I can't defeat him, and neither can you.
Can I not? What? Does Malachi fear you in any way?
No.
Then we have him at a disadvantage.
Her breathing's getting fainter, Ariana.
Just hold her steady, Freya.
And if Doris dies here?
Just do as I say. They're waking.
Can't you do anything?
No.
Nothing.
I said sit with her.
The wrong way? What do you mean the wrong way?
I mean just that.
You just don't want to kill him, do you?
What I want is of no importance, Malachi. Look at him. The great Joseph of Arimathea. He who was chosen to guard Arthur's sleeping army. A frail old bag of flesh and bone. Where's the glory for you in seeing one such as him die here on this empty beach? Little better than a vagrant.
You're trying to trick me.
I think I know better than to try and do that.
One would hope so, Pilgrim.
But to see him die in the outpost, amongst the sleepers, to actually see them fall apart, to witness that army vanquished, and to know that you were the noble instrument of their destruction, well, I'd say that was an opportunity too good to miss. Why, they'd probably let you lead the assembly as it rode into conquest.
But I can't go to the last outpost, Pilgrim.
And if the old man took you?
Why would he do that?
Because I have persuaded him that he can die with honor in the chamber. The old man is full of pride. He knows he's beaten. And he knows, as I know, that it's your time now, Malachi. You and all the assembly. I'm with you now. Freely.
But not gladly.
And will be until the very end of time. But if you want me to kill him here on this dirty shingle, and so be it.
Wait!
It's beginning.
Palmer will come. I know he will.
Pilgrim is too late.
Too late for what, dear sister of Avalon?
Styler.
And very good it is to see you too, Arianad. If you're nice, I might even be kind.
Who the hell is that?
Where's Joseph?
Preparing to meet his maker, as indeed should you be.
You have no power here at the last outpost.
Is that right? It's not at all what I thought it would be. Downright shabby, in fact. And to think they brought Arthur here in a bower.
Shall I put the old man?
Palmer.
Down there in the dust, beside the sleepers.
Let me die on the throne.
On the throne?
As befits one chosen
Do it.
Why did you bring this creature here, Pilgrim?
Because Malachi's right.
Right.
It's time to do away with the old.
You have betrayed us, Pilgrim.
You have betrayed me for centuries. How are you, Freya?
Doris is really sick.
Sorry to hear that.
We were brought here by force, by her.
And now you can have your revenge. You help me put the old man on the throne.
What throne?
The stone chair there.
But what about Doris?
Just help me.
Not what I call a throne.
Thank you. Now, go and look after Doris.
What are you doing with those knives?
I told you to go and sit with Doris.
Not until you tell me what you're going to do with
I'll
them.
be gutting him with these.
Gutting him?
As is right.
But what about Doris, the sleepers?
What's the hold up there?
There's no hold up, Malachi. Go on, Freya.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you got on with it. I don't want to have to spend a moment longer than I have to in this godforsaken place.
I'd like to say something.
Do you have to?
A last apology to Ariana, to the sleepers.
I'm sorry, I forgot my tissues, Joe. So, Pilgrim, if you wouldn't mind...
Sylvie Makepeace fed me, Styler. Cared for me. Treated me as her own.
Sylvie Makepeace? Sylvie Makepeace? Who gives a gnat's nut about Sylvie Makepeace?
I do.
Will you please just kill this extremely wearisome old man, Pilgrim?
And killing her has sealed your fate forever, Styler.
Now, if you wouldn't mind.
If you're ready, Joseph.
I'm ready.
You can't do this, Palmer.
And cut him deep, so I can see the blood flow.
Can't you stop him, Ariana?
There's nothing I can do.
You can't just kill him.
If somebody doesn't shut that disgusting wolf girl up, I will. Now, for the last time, Pilgrim, please.
An honor to have known you, Joseph.
And I you, William.
Now strike him!
No!
What?
Make room there, Frank.
The sacred grace bestowed upon me, I defy you, Malachi.
What's happening to the old man?
Keep quiet.
He's changing.
He's becoming what he is.
The light's unbearable.
Shield your eyes, and Doris.
You don't fool me, old man.
And with all the strength and goodness of his most sacred breath, remove all trace of this unholy demon from this place.
What have you done, Pilgrim? Goodbye, Malachi. I can't say I'll miss you. What? Well, did you think I was responsible for unleashing the Assembly?
The Assembly will never forgive or forget his Pilgrim.
That's as it must be.
All the strength and goodness of his most sacred breath, remove all trace of this unholy demon from this place.
Sleepers are settling.
Doris?
William?
Don't try to move.
Freya said you'd gone to London.
I was at an auction.
Buying or selling?
Selling.
Did it go well?
Very well.
Made a fortune as ever?
For the daughters of Sylvie Makepeace.
What was it?
It was Blake's own edition of Songs of Innocence and Experience.
And what did you get?
A lot.
Where's Freya?
Inside.
We were at the outpost, weren't we?
But we're not there now.
The birds came for us.
Rest, Doris. Rest.
But what happened?
I'll tell you everything later.
Freya, too.
Freya, too. She's supposed to be making you some soup. Freya?
What?
Where's that soup?
On its way.
Well, hurry it up.
What did you like, slave dial?
Dysentery.
She needs to feel she belongs, William.
I know.
How is she, Pilgrim?
Ariana?
Well,
She'll be all right.
it shocks me that you never told her.
How's Joseph?
With the sleepers.
And the sleepers?
Are sleeping.
They won't stop. The assembly, never.
Then we must see that they don't succeed, mustn't we? Although I was surprised.
By what?
But you elected to come back here, live among the hot bloods, when you could have stayed among the sleepers.
Sleeping is not dying.
It's as good as.
Is it?
You could have stayed with me, Pilgrim. On Avalon.
I don't belong there either, Ariana.
Where do you belong, William?
Here. For now.
Until tomorrow. I was tempted to take Doris with me.
I'm grateful that you didn't.
Our beautiful girl.
Our beautiful girl.
Goodbye, Pilgrim.
Soup's up.
Good.
It smells delicious, Freya.
Palmer's recipe.
Are you all right, William?
You should have that while it's hot.
So, are you going to be here tomorrow, Palmer?
I think so.
You think so?
Until tomorrow at least.
In part 4 of Pilgrim by Sebastian Baczkiewicz, Pilgrim was played by Paul Hilton, Joseph by David Calder, Malachi Styler by Paul Ryder, and Sylvie by Anna Wing. Doris was Susan Engel, Freya was Alex Tregear, and Arianad was Helen Schlesinger. The girl was Agnes Bateman. Pilgrim was directed by Jessica Drumgoole.